Yeah, there we are. We're live.
Sweet.
Whilst I rub my hands menacingly. You guys are weird. We've been watching the chat like,
Question mark.
big yikes and question marks from some of you in that chat.
Yeah.
Welcome to our RWBY Volume 8. What are you doing?
I'm just opening the episode grabs so
Oh,
we've
okay.
got them ready.
Right when I'm trying to introduce the stream. Alright, take it away.
No,
No?
No.
Why not?
because I don't do this.
Okay. But you interrupt me.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to our Chapter 4 live stream. It's quite an episode, which is why we're slightly later, as I did not actually think about how long it was going to take me to grab screen grabs from this one, because there was so much to it.
How many screenshots were there total?
I actually could have got more, to be honest. I
Yeah.
ended up, I think I've got 65, but it could have been more, but I had to like actually control myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there was a lot. I know that this is specifically from the opening, the thing that you're seeing on screen, but there's a
In case
reason.
You missed it on Twitter.
There's a
we'll go
reason.
over it.
Yes. So
Should have got 4 more.
I
You're
know.
absolutely right, Alice.
Listen, that's your guys' job. So yeah. Obviously, if you have not seen the chapter, I suggest that you go.
Vacate the premises, please.
Yeah, she also fell as well. Like, she
Yeah.
was a mess during that reaction. And then you almost fell off your chair.
Yeah, I tried to move the chair to the side and it got caught in the carpet somehow and nearly launched me right out.
Yeah.
So Kelly thought that was particularly hilarious because I did a little
Stupid.
Waluigi like
Stupid noise that was too funny and made it like a cartoon. There's quite a lot of people here already.
Yeah, well, it was a very interesting
That's usually what
episode,
happens.
So
I gotta say though, there's definitely a theme with our live streams that literally anytime there's anything like a remote like scent of the bees, it's like okay, we're going to their live stream.
yeah.
I have noticed this as a consistent pattern. So yeah, but obviously there was a lot in this episode. Yes, there is a fly in the room.
It's really annoying.
Just leave it alone, bro.
I know, it's so loud.
Sitting in her feral noises again.
Yes.
A bit quiet.
Ooh.
Let me just double check our audio.
It might be
sound.
because I'm over this side this time. I'm usually a little bit closer to the microphone, so we'll try and get that fixed a little bit.
Alright. Let me just double check.
We'll probably have to do it on OBS.
No, it's literally maxed on OBS.
Is it?
Yeah.
Might just need to turn it a little bit this way for me.
Because you're so
I'm
quiet. So quiet. But you have frustrated the hell out of everybody by me having to turn it up. I need you to just wrangle, that's why I checked.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, if we are a little bit. Oh no, it's you that sounds quiet apparently.
Ah, so you turned the microphone to you even though it's me.
Even though it's you apparently.
You're a dangerous woman. Anyway, wrangle the chat while I do this.
Okay, it's just everyone saying that it's quiet. So while Kelly's fixing that, if it starts to sound better, just let us know so that we can
just engage with them whilst I do this instead of watching what I'm doing, because it makes me feel more pressurized.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right,
there we go.
Okay, this is going to significantly turn up our volume. So for some
Yeah.
reason our audio volume was quite low on the actual PC settings because I restarted and updated this, which was a mistake today. So yeah. No wonder
it was necessary.
No wonder I had to crank up the actual audio from our reaction. I didn't realise how low it was.
Yeah.
Okay, but that should be a lot better. Anyways, apologies for that. Windows obviously updated and messed about with my settings.
Love that.
So let's not jump into it quite yet. Actually, not immediately. We will start the discussion soon. As I said, there's quite a lot in here, but would be real nice. Obviously, there's a lot of you in here, and I'm gonna guess that most of the people that are in here probably actually enjoy what we do. I'd assume that if you come to the live streams and watch it, that you would probably enjoy our reactions and stuff. But just like to flag that you guys should always try and, if you can, remember, comment on our actual reactions on YouTube when they go up. Last week we got so much shit for the last reaction with the Hound because we missed it talking, which, yes, it was annoying, but I could genuinely tell there was like a genuine venom and hatred from some of the people in the comments over that one thing, like that we'd ruined their fucking lives, basically.
Yeah, because none of the other reactors had got it, so they thought maybe we had got it.
No, there were some that did, there were some that didn't.
Was there some that did? That's good.
We put subtitles on afterwards, so we won't miss like stuff like that, but like, if you enjoy stuff, remember to comment that you enjoy it, because negativity is really draining, especially in this particular year where there's literally nothing else to focus on. Yeah. Because all the other nice things that we do have been taken away, like conventions and stuff. So, yeah. Like, make sure that you comment on the reactions if you enjoy them, because it's so easy to watch something you enjoy and just not. And it's much, much more likely when someone's pissed off, which, frankly, if you're that pissed off about it, that's concerning, but it's much more likely if someone's going to comment if they're annoyed, so, just make sure that you do, because it is annoying, when I know that there's, like, 161 people here, and probably most of you didn't comment in the reactions, which is fine, because you wouldn't probably think to do it, but, from our perspective, it's nice when we get that on there, and it's not just, like, every comment is someone moaning and, like, arguing. We don't need anybody to like be confrontational or anything like that.
Don't go on just to comment back to any of these people and be like, hey, you're totally wrong, don't be mean.
Most of them were names that I didn't recognise, so I'm gonna guess the vast majority were people that don't actually watch the channel, which is fine, but like it's helpful if people that do actually enjoy the stuff comment on it. Shark Boy is
doing his masters?
Yeah, he's doing his masters in university. He's a busy boy, but we play D&D with him every week. So we do keep in regular contact, and he's doing okay.
Yeah, he's doing really good. He's working really hard, and obviously that's quite difficult in the current climate.
Yeah.
With learning, but
yes,
we do miss the best left chick.
That is an old
That's
volume.
a really old
volume
one.
6 live stream meme.
I love that because it shows that people have been around for a while.
Yeah. So would really appreciate if you guys do that. I don't imagine it'll be as much of a dumpster fire this week's one because there was like nothing that we particularly missed. But as soon as I realised we'd missed the thing from the second episode, I was like, oh no, the comment section's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah. Alyssa's also doing well. Alyssa's doing reactions as well.
She is, but I can't remember what channel name she's doing it under. Do you wanna check that whilst
absolutely,
before we start?
Because she'll have posted a link to it. So,
God, there is so many screen grabs. This is gonna take a while. I hope you guys are ready for it. Right. Anyway, shall we start?
The YouTube channel is just Alyssa Axon, so the same way that
I'll
hers
just put it in the chat if you guys
Twitter.
want to watch her reactions.
Just search her up, Alyssa Axon, on YouTube.
That is the username if you want to watch, because she is doing them. So yeah, if you're wanting another person to watch, that's a good way to go.
Yeah.
We will not be doing the big group reactions probably ever again.
They're a bit too chaotic to control, so unfortunately.
Yeah. As much as they were fun in the early days, like, it's a lot to organise, and it's stressful. For me, particularly, because I'm the one that has to edit everything and, like, do the thumbnails and set up the live stream.
And set up the microphones and make sure that no one's talking over each other.
Yeah, it's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable for me. When in the old days when we used to do it and I wasn't, like, so dedicated to what we were doing, I literally would just upload it and kind of just leave it.
Yeah.
Whereas now, obviously, I put a bit more effort in, so it's not as easy to just have everybody round to watch RWBY and then we just play, like, Quiplash afterwards. It's not really like that anymore, so as much as those are fun, I think those are, unfortunately, probably a thing of the past, which is a shame, but...
It's a shame, but...
We evolve and we move forward, and I still really like the way we do things now. Anyway, are we ready to get into this, now that we've talked about all the...
other things.
All the other existential crisis and whatnot. So, y'all ready? It has passed much like the Cursed Corner. Yeah, this is not really a kids episode. I don't think we've seen. I say this almost every week. I feel like that it gets darker, but it was really dark.
It does get darker every time.
So, you pointed this out. So this is a grab from the opening. There's a couple of ones I've taken here. So we obviously have the ground cracking, and suddenly that has a lot more significance after this episode. It's not just a metaphorical. Oh yeah, everything's falling apart. It's this shit.
Yeah.
Because the episode is called Rift.
Fault.
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 Well, it's fault.
Yes.
Fault. A fault line. Fuck. Why did I think Rift? What were we watching that has Rift?
It's a rift.
Yes. Some people have pointed out that it's very similar to the Apathy and the kind of vibe of an abandoned, the cabin in this situation in the snow, and it did remind me a lot of that in its general creepiness because it's clearly an abandoned outpost. And Jean's line about, well, things always get worse before they get better, and then cut to this. So I don't know if this is Grimm caused or if it's naturally occurring or what. It's hard to tell because it could be something a complete outlier in the situation. It might not be anything to do with Salem. Like it may not be something that she's planned for either. I don't know, man. We know that there's obviously mines underneath where Atlas is. Like that they mine dust from down there. I assume that yes, Jorah. I assume that the tunnels and stuff go on for
quite a bit
distances. So that might not be mined necessarily all of them. And dust is volatile. Like what if something is like exploding?
Yeah.
Deep below the earth and in those areas that have never been mined. I don't know.
And someone else also pointed out that the winner of the Grimm competition was like a fish thing. I'm not sure.
What?
I saw someone say that when they had that like Grimm competition thing.
Is it Grimm competition?
Grimm competition thing? Just being Jenny. Yeah, sulfurfish.
Sulfurfish. Yeah.
So
could be something like deep.
Something like this. I'm not sure, but
yeah. All right. But anyway, I just thought that was an interesting thing to point out. Obviously, that's from the end of the episode, so let's jump back to the start of the episode, and you don't need to sit like that or lie like that. Robin continuing to be iconic.
Winter, you didn't miss anything. We're just starting. Don't worry.
Yeah, even though we've not actually had a lot of Robin this particular volume so far, I'm still enjoying all the little bits that we're getting, and this scene between her and Crow was really, really nice.
Yeah.
She's not quite giving up on getting out. She's just like, well, there's not really much I can do right now, specifically.
No, she's just trying to make good of a pretty bad situation, with being stuck where they are.
Yeah.
But I like the way that she, tried to level with Crow and understanding with how they are. We've got some nice.
I took a screen grab of this and I didn't see it in the reaction, but in my head I was like, wow, there's a fly on him. Did they really know what was going to happen with Mike Pence and the fly?
Did they add this? Did they add the fly?
It just reminded me of that immediately. And I was just like, I just had to screen grab that. Yeah, how did that fly get in there?
Well, I mean, a fly somehow got into our room.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's flies everywhere, bro.
I am loving the fact that we have to approve so many comments because everyone's saying
as soon as Jacques is on screen, it's like immediate swears.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we have Crow talking about obviously what went down with Clover and Tyrion and his regret at how things went and wishing that he hadn't done exactly what he did, but also wishing that Clover hadn't been so stubborn either. Obviously just really regretting the way things went. But the suckish thing is that, can you just ignore it?
It's so annoying.
Then go kill it if you care that much.
I can't kill it.
Well, then you don't get to complain about it. That he obviously blames his luck for what happened to Semblance, which I don't think is the case in that situation. I don't think his Semblance really played into it at all. I think it was just what happened.
It was just the way the cards fell at that point.
Yeah.
So.
Get Jorah to eat the fly.
Oh god, I wish he would, but he is such a coward that he won't even eat a fly.
His voice was so small. There was like a little bit where it sort of broke towards the end. I was like, man.
I think I even said that in the reaction, that he sounded a bit like a child, like really unsure.
Well, he said that he specifically said like that his happiness is like a childish dream.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, that's some dark thoughts to be having, is that you think that your happiness is like childish to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. The man needs a hug.
A big hug.
He's in a bad place, but at least Robin seems to be a good influence so far, in a way that is actually fairly surprising.
Yeah.
And then we have this really nice scene. Now, we touched on this, I don't know how many of you were here for our streams last year, but we did touch on this in the episode where we got the reveal about Robin's semblance, that actually, potentially, she's had quite a lonely and hard life as a result, because who would want to be friends with someone that can tell when they're lying, even when it's a small lie? So she would find it very hard to trust people, and people would find it very hard to want to grow close to her.
Yeah.
Which, again, is very telling that the Happy Huntresses are
very trustworthy for her, because they're happy to be around her, you know, so.
Robin be gay, do crime, also Robin good influence. Listen, it's not all be gay, do crime.
Yeah.
And maybe the crime part will invigorate Crow out of his stir a little bit. But yeah, I like this, and then also like the visual metaphor of like that barrier that she has between people because of her semblance. Why are you laughing?
That wall looks like some good blue Gatorade.
Listen, it's a visual metaphor. But yes, I'm sure it does also look like Gatorade. You know what? I don't know what I was going to say with the screen grab, but Meryl was looking real fine this episode. And there's actually a really nice screen grab coming off of Meryl, because he was just looking real good this episode.
It's that blue in his skin, man. It complements his eyes, but it brings out the real nice tones in his skin.
Yeah, and his hair. Listen, he's a fine looking lad.
He's a good boy.
And he's also a good boy. But yeah, clearly whatever Watts has done with Penny is no longer required. So he's back in the cell for now. Not being treated very well, to be fair. He did get thrown back in.
Yeah.
So regardless of helping, he's not being treated much better as a result of his assistance.
No.
I mean, it's still ridiculous, actually, that he's even been allowed to assist in any of this.
Yeah.
Ooh, you gonna jump to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is how they're gonna end up breaking out. Harriet was so close to to opening this cell door.
The only reason she stopped is because Mara was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure that Robin is gonna push her buttons more.
Yeah.
Now that she knows that it was that close. Like, she just has to catch Harriet off guard when she's maybe not with Marrow, and potentially that'll be enough for her to get out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm also very down for that particular combat scenario, because I think that Robin versus Harriet would be a really cool fight.
Yes. I really want to see it.
Not yet.
No.
But I think that's kind of setting that up.
Will do be a virtue.
Yes. Look how handsome he is. Look at that good handsome boy. Listen. He just looks great.
I choked on my drink when someone on Twitter got mad at Marrow for breaking up a prison brawl. Listen.
It's such a nice aesthetic shot for Marrow. He was just looking real handsome this episode. What can I say?
Handsome.
I always thought he was a handsome boy, but for as you said, the lighting and just the way his hair was.
I'm comfortable enough in my sexuality as a lesbian that I can say this is a really attractive man.
Yep.
He's a beautiful man.
I mean, as a bisexual, I can say he can get it. And I'm real comfortable in saying that.
Yep. And I'm fine with you saying it too.
And then we, of course, cut back to
Bike Boys.
Dan. I hate it. So we're back to the Bike Boys, or should I say the Yikes Boys, after this episode, Jesus. Yeah, so we finally, after this episode, have nothing left from the trailer. That is a done deal.
And basically nothing left from the opening either.
No. Other than the hackening. which is
Yeah.
bound to happen. Oh, and the giant earthquake that apparently is now a thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I said last time, but we definitely don't have anything else. I can't think of anything from the trailer that's left now.
No.
Because the only thing that was left was the...
Oh, that's true. The weapon stuff in the opening is there.
Yeah, but that's just visual. I mean, it's visual of what's going to happen, but it's not like as obvious as some of the other things in the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the bikes go... This was actually a really cool shot. It's ridiculous how far
some
things
of the
have gone.
colours, well, I say some as if this whole episode wasn't very pretty to see in the way that the colours and the lighting was done. It was just exquisite.
Actually, this entire next sequence was ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Really hard to actually take screen grabs of because everything happened so quickly, so I've tried to take some, but the screen grabs I've got do not do justice to the choreography and the camera work and everything else that was going on in this particular sequence that happens. But I just took what I could.
Yeah.
But definitely worth like multiple rewatches because there is a lot going on in this scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get
This
John
cool
launching his boy up to the sky.
Yeah.
Because he realizes that he might actually be able to get Ren up high enough using his weapons to hook on to the Hound, which to be fair was probably their best shot, to be honest. Like,
oh yeah.
I think he also could have launched Yang, but she probably wouldn't have, unless she used her gauntlets, which again she could have hit one of them if she was aiming them backwards.
Yeah.
Ren's was probably the best option to try and like actually hook onto it.
Plus, his bike seemed to be the one that had the most damage to it.
Yeah.
So it made sense for him to like abandon his bike first.
Sean getting a full face of that Ren booty.
I mean, to be fair, he's being very respectful and looking ahead to the side.
He's like, it's okay, bro. I won't look.
I'm gonna cover you with my shield, hop off it, and I'm gonna respectfully look over
I
here.
will respectfully not look at the booty, no homo.
Sean, no homo.
Wow.
Literally as you said it.
Hive mind there. And then yeah, this whole sequence was so cool. The way that
So cool.
the scene has been set up with the terrain to use for obviously the bikes looping over, but then also the Grim looping over. So clearly the Hound is pretty next level because it was able to summon Grim. I mean, I'm pretty sure Kevin, the wyvern from Volume 3, also summoned Grim because he just kept screaming.
Yes, he did.
He kept screaming and more Grim kept coming.
I
So
sometimes forget that he's called Kevin.
that's his Christian name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was able to draw Grim. So I'm wondering if it's something similar to that that it can call back up to that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also spawned Grim from his belly.
His goo.
But I'm pretty sure they did say that he was attracting Grim to the tower.
He was.
So, yeah. I'm imagining it's something similar to that. He also gave birth to Grim. We're all on these birthing Grim things from Kevin.
But he's a good Christian boy too.
I love how our live streams poggers is just still a thing with like everything.
God, imagine if Shark Boy was here.
It would be a fucking nightmare with how much would be said. And then we had the shot of Oscar, of course, as you pointed out. He doesn't have his aura, so the cold will be getting to him.
He's so pale with these like such red cheeks. If you've ever seen someone who's been out in the cold too long,
Yeah, poor little
that's what
baby.
they look like. Their nose is usually a little bit more red, but obviously in the animating software, it's probably a little bit difficult to put colors in places. But yeah, this is what they look like. They look really.
See, if
pale.
you didn't have the context, you'd be like, he's been cradled to safety.
Yeah,
if you didn't have the
being
context.
carried away from the Grim, and it's like he's in the arms of a Grim boy.
Yeah, the Grim that rattled him last time. Oh. And then we had this really cool sequence.
Beautiful sequence.
So Jean ends up having to dump his bike because he's not actually that great at driving it.
No, which we've seen multiple times, especially when he launched Ren and Yang was like, yes, high five, and then he like, whoa.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the right balance for a bike.
It reminds me of when someone's like, if you go ice skating with someone and like they're really good and you're like maybe not so good and they come over for like a high five or whatever and the other person's like, fuck.
Yeah, they like reach up for the high five, and then they start doing
that's
that thing
them
with
losing
their
the
feet where they're like,
balance. Yeah. That's what it reminded me of. But obviously, it was definitely a good catch from Yang, but it definitely made more sense for them to be on the same bike because Yang is clearly a far more experienced driver.
absolutely.
So she zooms around these Grimm.
I love my blonde boys.
Yeah, I actually did really like their dynamic this episode.
Yeah.
And then John, very, very clever use of his shield projectiles, throws one down to use as a ramp over this Grimm because they're just not dealing
Brilliant.
with it. So yeah, that was cool. Very, very cool and well put together.
Yeah, Yang is basically the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because someone was saying my headcanon is Oscar is the bee's adopted son. Yang is going crazy for her son. But she is basically the Mandalorian and
Yes.
Oscar is the child.
Well, given like the ridiculousness of some of the stuff that she managed to pull off in this episode, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd agree.
This is the way.
So we finally got confirmation of the big wide-eyed Yang moment from the trailer that had everybody going pretty feral for a long time about what could possibly make her look like this. Turns out it's not something emotionally distressing. It's not
No.
someone getting ripped apart or anything like that, but it's still pretty scary because it's her realization that they're about to go straight off a cliff, most certainly falling to their deaths.
Yeah.
And that she's going way too quickly to slow them down.
Martin, I don't think it's actually Yoda.
What? Don't start talking about in depth about the Mandalorian.
I'm not.
on here.
I don't think it is.
Okay, so poor babies, they fall off the cliff.
He tried so hard.
He did actually. Like I didn't catch it the first time round that he tried to spike the sword in.
Wait,
What?
we are 9 away from 69.
Oh, don't do this.
It's the mini Game Boy. 62. Come on, guys.
No,
68.
don't do this. They're gonna throw it up to 80. Anytime we met, you should just let it happen. You should let it happen organically.
Dang,
See,
87.
See, no, don't. It's way too early for that game. Yeah, so Jean and Yang go off the cliff because they were going way too quickly. It was very distressing actually watching them roll off of the bike.
Yeah.
To their deaths really. And John did try hard to save them. He tried to spike his sword in, but they were just going too quickly.
Yeah.
So they both fall, and I didn't realise when they were falling until I took the screen grab.
But they held hands.
They were
the whole
holding
time.
hands, and it's sad. If they'd actually died, this would be so sad. To be fair, I'm loving this bonding that they're having.
Yeah. Also, I love as well, like, I know it wouldn't be a big deal for Jean at this point, but he's just, like, holding on to her robot hand, like, there's absolutely nothing changed, you know?
Yeah, I just, this as much as it's distressing is quite bonding.
Yeah.
It's very soft. And thankfully for that, I can't imagine how terrifying that was actually, just realising you're going to fall to your
and
death.
knowing that there's nothing to catch you.
Yeah, but thankfully a majorly well-timed save from Ren to hook onto Jean's sword, so thank God he put it there.
Yeah.
And catches all of them and then masks their emotions so the Grimm just leave them alone. Very close call, but obviously meant that Ren had to give up Oscar to save them, which he's not super happy about later in the episode.
Yeah, and I have to say,
What?
as difficult a choice as it would have been for Ren to have just, like, completely let go of trying to save Oscar, I don't feel like he would have been able to save Oscar on his own.
No, I think it was the right call. I think that if he'd stayed on, eventually the Hound Grimm would have thrown him off and he would have died anyway.
Yeah.
And most certainly Salem would have probably tried to kill him or tortured him or whatever. So I think, to be honest, he probably did make the right call, because if he hadn't done what he done, John and Yang would be dead.
Yeah.
And he would probably eventually have died too, so it would have just been a total waste. So
Yeah.
the call was right. As much as it would have hurt to have made that decision, it was, I think, the right call.
Yeah.
Also, we have no idea how far they were going to fall, but it looks very far.
Yeah, well, like, considering that they're dangling, like, here.
Yeah, and there was probably still quite a lot more to go.
Yes.
And then we had this nice shot, like, the matte paintings, the backgrounds of these mountains, so pretty. So we have your boy Richard floating about
Yep.
as the Hound,
With Henry.
Henry.
Flying towards him.
your boy Henry going over to Richard to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Oscar is completely lost at this stage. Like, I think that was very much what that shot was saying, is there's just no way they're getting him back in this particular scenario now.
No punching Ren. No punch Ren squad. He's going through a lot. He's not dealing with it well, but no punching.
And yeah, you can quite clearly see there if he'd gone after, if he'd stayed on the Hound would have dropped him down there, and he would be dead.
He would have died.
It's so high up. So yeah. Well, yes, they do routinely jump out of things, but also they routinely jump out of things that are not precipices.
Not well. I mean, we don't know how long
and
it went
also
on
they
for.
didn't jump. They literally slid right off the edge at speed.
And not only that, but when they usually are thrown out or jump out of things, they have their full aura. They had less than half of their aura left at this point.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and when something happens to you by surprise, you are not prepared for a protective landing. And also, again, you don't know what was down there. There could have been like outcrops. I mean, it's a mountain range. There's outcrops of rocks everywhere. You're gonna slam into them. It's not like a flat area to land.
Yeah, and when you go down like mountainsides, it's not like here's a cliff edge and then it goes straight down. A lot of the time, it's like jagged parts of it that go down
that stick out that you might just impale yourself on.
Yeah, and then there could have been like a really fucking sharp bottom to it. Like, there is no way that they could have done a safe landing. It's unfortunate, but
yeah,
and it could have even been a frozen lake. Like, how do you save yourself then?
Yeah, I think there's no way that they could have controlled their landings very safely there because of the way that they fell. Because it was at speed and it was not controlled at all. Like, they couldn't even catch themselves on the cliffside. That's how quick they were going.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think it's really fair to say.
And that's true. Jean only developed a landing strategy last volume, so
yeah, I think it's fair to say that they would have probably died if they'd went off and not been grabbed here. And
then we showed up the Schnee
and
Manor.
then we surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but Weiss's place to lay low is apparently a giant mansion.
Yeah.
But it's an empty mansion with no attention on it, so
yeah,
she goes home. Plenty of space for everyone. I guess now that Penny's gone, Blake has been given the tough carry Nora duty, so she must be pretty built up here.
I wonder why May decided that. Because May's strong.
May does carry Nora at some point in the episodes. It's just not this stage.
Yeah.
But initially it's Blake.
I wonder if they're taking turns.
Yeah, it's just like...
It's like, who wants to carry Nora this time? Alright, here you go.
You just know that Weiss will not be, because Weiss is definitely not, like, that buff up there. She's strong, but not, like, weightlifting strong.
No, exactly. This is something that was pointed out, like, a while ago. Is that Weiss is, I hate saying this because I don't believe it's true, but they classify Weiss as like the weakest of Team RWBY because she's always shown as being like out of breath more often than the rest of them. But her fighting style is so different from everyone else's, so of course she would be.
And also Weiss is a huge like team support in any combat scenario. She is on the offensive and the defensive and amplifying everybody else. Like, she's exhausted because she's like throwing glyphs left, right and centre to help everybody else. Like, if you watch any of Team RWBY's fights, Weiss is like instrumental to any time that they win. Particularly that, obviously, I always end up thinking of the Paladin fight from Volume 2, where she's just like glyphing everybody left, right and centre.
Yeah.
So yeah, no wonder she's always exhausted.
Yeah, someone said she fights with Dex, which I think is...
Yeah, D&D boys. Blake being a top. Let's not do that.
Get into this again,
please,
guys.
not
We've been
the
over this a lot.
Wiley literally looks like a frightened like squirrel or cat here.
Cat, you said cat.
In the reaction, it felt like a cat, like a white fluffy cat. That's exactly.
But it's not the holding the knife to the cat and the cat's like.
No, it's the.
It's the.
Yeah.
Don't point that at me.
I guess he didn't expect. He certainly didn't expect visitors. Yeah, and Weiss just had no time for him not letting them in. I was just like, I'm not having this argument at the door. Let me in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she would have actually stabbed him or anything like that.
Yeah.
Goddamn carol singers. The Schnees are shape-shifted squirrels, honestly. Yeah, that's what it is. It's that vine of the cat with the flowers on it where it just gradually sinks into itself and its eyes go wide. That's what it reminds me of.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I really love that vine, but I totally forgot about it.
Yeah. And then they have a little sibling domestic where Whitley's
serious middle child syndrome from Weiss here, I think.
Yeah, Whitley's like, I don't want these people in here. Like, well, look what you've done to Dad. Like, this is bad enough, and now you're bringing people in here, like fugitives. What are you doing? And then she's just like, listen, I'm staying in here. This is my house too.
Yeah.
You're not gonna help. Just go to your room.
Yeah. Would you, as the middle child, would you agree that Weiss is showing middle childness?
Yes.
With Whitley?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I feel like maybe she was a little bit too harsh to Whitley here. Like, I think somebody just needs to actually. It'll be hard because he's going to put up such a front and be defensive. But I feel like someone needs to try and get through to Whitley. Because right now he's just like, his world has kind of crumbled around him without his dad.
Exactly, and you know when. I mean, he's like, what, I think maybe like 3 years younger than Weiss, just off of basic maturity levels.
God, the chat is moving so fast today.
I know. Guys, remember that there are super chats if you have something that's like really important that you want to say so that we don't miss it, because it is going real fast.
Real fast. Yeah.
But yeah, he feels like he's actually quite a bit younger than Weiss.
He is a bit younger than Weiss.
Yeah. So when Weiss left to go to Beacon, he was probably like, I don't know what to do. Like, he's just a fucking young boy. And kind of in that situation, you look to your parents for support. The mother's not there to support because she's stuck in a marriage that doesn't make her happy. So he would focus all of his attention on his dad, who's a terrible influence. But when you have nothing else,
yeah, so I'm hoping that we see like a little bit of a gradual change for Whitley this volume without his dad. Like, I don't think he's going to be suddenly the hero of the story, but he might realise like that he can do better than he has done so far.
Hopefully, Alistair. That's a good point.
That Weiss would maybe talk to them
next episode. It's possible.
Well, there's not really much that they've done their part of the job for now. And obviously we'll get to it, but they're now more concerned about other things.
Yeah.
Whoop. Whoop. Yes, I'm a middle child. Whoever asked, I saw that in the... Can you not tell? Then we had this...
Very interesting.
Oh, this little tease.
Yes.
So we obviously a lot of us were talking about the fact that they...
might be able to look at their auras and see how they were doing.
On their scrolls, yes, because they established that last volume that they were able to do that. And then we have Blake, her gaze showing, but she was also trying to be low-key about it. She was like, hey, if you're worried about Yang,
you can just call her.
You can just call her. I haven't tried.
Have a call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so obviously she tried to like lead into that question without being too obvious.
Yeah, without being like, hey, have you called Yang?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you should call Yang.
Like, do you want me to call Yang?
Yeah.
I mean, I could call her if you want.
So, turns out RWBY has been trying to call her, which is really sad but wholesome, with no success because the signal is not reaching Yang's scroll, so she's not getting the phone call. Which tells me that as much as obviously Ren and Jean could see each other's aura on their scrolls,
they were close together.
But that's because they were close together. I think that once they're not in signal connection, it means that they also don't get an up-to-date reflection of the person's aura. So they won't know that their aura has like tanked.
No.
But they also will be quite concerned that they're not answering because they're being busy and then there's just like, there's something wrong. Especially because they probably would have expected them to like get in touch and be like, are you guys doing okay? Like, here's what we're up to. Also,
Cassandra, I think that, I mean, maybe it's not my place to say because I'm an only child, but I feel like I don't think that RWBY would think that Yang's given her the silent treatment because they know each other pretty well, and I feel like the way that Yang acts a lot of the time is more like a mother than a older sister, so
Well, she said she's been trying, which means this is probably not the first time that she's tried to call Yang since they took Nora back. Like, she may have tried to call a few times on the airship and never got through. And maybe the first couple of times, maybe the first 2 times, she was like, oh, Yang must still be, like, a little bit annoyed because of how we ended things, but I'm sure, like, eventually she'll pick up, and now it's probably been long enough that, yeah, she is actually now a bit concerned that it's not just stubbornness anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I just feel like the way that their relationship is, even if Yang was upset with RWBY, if RWBY did come to speak to her or tried to call her, she would answer and be like, listen, RWBY, like, I know you want to sort things out, but, like, I just need some space just now, so, like, can we talk about this later instead of, like, totally patching? Because when we saw in Volume...
That's true, though. What? To be fair, on the scroll screen it did say that there's no signal, so maybe she just realises that Yang's out of signal.
Maybe.
Yeah. So we don't really need to go into that, because
no,
that actually does explain it.
But I was also going to say, like, just in the way that Yang acts with RWBY, like, I think it was Volume 5 when she had the blow up about Blake.
I'm gonna open that window.
Okay.
Because it's real warm. This
it's
discussion's
actually really hot.
Spicy. As it turns out. Maybe the fly will go.
Well, maybe we'll invite more flies in. But basically what I was saying was in Volume 5, I think when Yang kind of snapped about Blake and she was in the room, RWBY came... Well, Yang thought that it was RWBY that was at the door, and she was like, look, RWBY, I don't want to talk about it. So I think they've maybe been in a situation before where Yang's maybe, like, lost her temper a little bit, and RWBY's went to try and fix it, and Yang's like, listen, I just don't want to talk right now.
I need space, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously in this occasion, I mean, that sets us up for kind of next time as well, is that there's a legitimate concern here about what's happening with the other group, and they're going to have to do something.
Yeah, because they'll probably start trying to call every single person in that group.
Yeah. Man, the reunion's going to be fucking good.
Crazy.
I'm so ready for it.
I do also love the thought of Blake going around everyone and being like, hey, do you think you could try and call Yang? Because she doesn't want to be seen as desperate.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
And Weiss just narrow eyes like, oh my
Why don't you
God.
call her?
Why don't you call her? You have a scroll, you have hands, call her.
Call her yourself. Actually, I forgot I have these fluffy socks on. That won't be helping my
and then obviously, we have the confirmation there of the fact that... Yeah. Oh wait, what does it say? It says dialing?
It says outgoing Yang.
Yeah.
But sometimes when people don't have reception, the call will just, like, go out, but it won't actually, like, ring.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Poor Weiss. Eternal suffering.
Eternal suffering.
Yeah. I can't imagine that they're going to just ignore this. It does seem like it's something that they won't be able to gloss over and just do what they need to do now. Like, they'll be really worried about what's happened.
Yeah.
And then we have this cut back to the biker boys now. One bike down and one farm boy down.
One farm boy down, but trying to make it back as far as they can.
Yeah, and obviously they are getting close to sunset here. Well,
that's a really good question. Do scrolls have voicemail?
I'd assume so.
What if Yang gets connection and there's a voicemail from Blake like, hey, I'm just really worried about you. Can you please call me back when you get this?
It's just like, you have 8 unheard messages.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it just starts off kind of casual, like, hey, we're just doing this thing.
Hope you're okay and we can, talk soon. Just let me know. And then the last one's like, please, Yang, just call me back. I'm so worried about you. And that's what I would do.
Oh, man. And then we have the confirmation of that they can still see each other's aura. But gradually their aura is going down. Ren's is already in the red because he got thrown about quite a lot when he was hanging from the Hound Grim.
Yeah. What I liked about this scene as well, though, is that Yang's was in the yellow with Jean's, and then it dropped during this scene to show that the cold was actually impacting them.
Yeah, so. Yeah. It's like the D&D equivalent of exhaustion points in bad areas. I also really like the fact...
You take 3 cold damage.
Yes. I also like that Jean's aura is higher, because he... didn't get thrown about so much in the fight, but also he's been training his aura specifically for his semblance, because his semblance is so reliant on a large amount of aura. You alright there?
Dan said Blake calls Ironwood. I'll tell you where Penny is if you call Yang.
Wow. That would be confusing.
Oh god. Someone send that to Mayuki right now.
Yeah, just anyone but her. Anyone but her to not look needy. Oh god. And then this beautiful shot.
Oh man, the colors in this episode are just God.
You realise what this confirms though, right? Since we know that this volume takes place across 2 days, 48 hours, we are now at the end of day 1.
On episode 4.
So we only have the night and the next day, really.
Yeah.
Which is big concern.
Apparently Mayuki's already on it.
Thanks,
MC.
Yeah, so that's concerning, considering how much has already happened and how much episodes we have left to go. Yikes. But I just like this shot as well, it's just showing the sort of distance between Ren and the rest of his team.
Yeah, that's what I thought was like really interesting, is like Ren in this like barren land, and that's probably how he feels.
Yeah, he feels
too.
isolated, but he's also isolated himself deliberately.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, it was a very nice shot to
Beautiful.
convey that. And then we had Yang come up to
So expected.
to Ren because he was just not really answering her about like this outpost and being very evasive.
But he was being really short about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And Yang, of all people, is not going to just accept that.
Yeah, the way that she walked up to him, I hated it, because it reminds me of
recognised
me when I'm mad. The way her arms like tensed and went really firm at her sides, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, because she was walking,
Yeah.
and then she kind of did a,
Yeah.
and then was just like,
Oh, it was too relatable. I hated saying that.
don't you fucking talk to me like that.
Yeah, the arms tensing. Oh god.
Absolutely, Yang is the last person you want to be passive aggressive with, man.
Yeah, she will not put up with passive aggressive people or anything like that, especially
No.
in this scenario. She's just like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, this is already a fucking difficult place to be. You want to make it harder?
Yeah. And then they obviously have quite a lengthy argument here talking about basically everything.
But listen, can we just
Yeah.
appreciate Yang?
Doing what? Appreciate Yang what?
I don't know, man. Just animated girls are just built differently.
Okay, get away. She set an impossible standard. Fuck's sake. Yeah, I really like this scene because we have very different opposing views here, even though they both made the same call to go and try and help Mantle.
Mm-hmm.
Ren is now, having lost Oscar, he is punishing himself, but he's also punishing the rest of them, kind of making them feel bad that he saved them, like that he had to save them. He's making them feel guilty for it.
Mm-hmm.
And also saying that they were not ready for this, like they are not huntsmen. They clearly have failed in everything that they've tried to do. They've only made things worse, and Yang pointing out the fact that, like, yes, they're maybe inexperienced, but they've also done a lot of good things, and if they hadn't done some of the things they'd done, things would be a heck of a lot worse.
Anyway. Yeah. Also, Diana, you say that I wouldn't be able to argue with Yang because I would be distracted by the sexy. You say that like I could argue with Yang. At all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you would not argue with Yang.
No.
You would go all bottomy for Yang.
She would come over to me like,
And
do you think you're giving me an attitude? And I would be like,
wow. Yeah.
and she's so tall as well. She would like tower over me and just can't.
Wow, what a great performance, I say. Like, that's not just how you are as a person.
It's true, simps can't win arguments. That's probably why I've never won an argument in my life.
Wow. The real tea.
How tall am I? You've met me. I was in heels. I'm 5'4", which is 164
Who asked how
centimeters.
tall you are?
We met them in Austin.
Okay. Yeah, you're 5 foot what?
4.
Cool, so I'm taller than you.
Yeah, you're like 5'6".
Mm.
You're only a little bit taller.
Yeah, so this scene is really, really good. But also Yang acknowledges here that obviously they have made mistakes. Like, she knows that it's not been plain sailing. There's things that they could have done better, but that if they hadn't done anything, it would be worse. Which I think is probably fair to say, to be honest. And then we have this beautiful 360 shot around them arguing, as the argument flows between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and John's just like, guys.
Yeah, Jean's in the background like, this really isn't worth the energy.
No, exactly. Like, they're dying of the colds. So, yeah. Really, really nice shot. I thought it was... Actually, the cinematography in all of this episode was really, really good.
Brilliantly done.
Honestly, the whole volume, actually.
Yeah, the whole volume has been such a stand-up.
Have we actually, like...
So good.
Now that we're on episode... I know we're still early doors, really, in the scale of this volume, but I have to say, this is so far shaping up to be the best volume.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think there's been an episode, so I know that we're only the 4th episode in, but there hasn't been one episode where I've been like, this one wasn't really as good as the other ones, like...
Yeah, they've all had different tones and stuff, but it's never, none of them have actually ever felt like too slow or badly paced. They've all felt like they've pushed this plot forward and given some like interesting interactions between the characters. I'm starting to get now why like Miles and Kerry and other people and like the crew have been like, yeah, we've been waiting for this volume. Like, we have been waiting for this volume because we wanted to tell the particular stories in this volume for a long time.
Yeah.
And that is kind of coming across for me in the episodes. It feels like they don't really have to hide anything anymore. It's all this stuff that they've built up for ages that they're now like, yeah, we can actually do this now. We built it up, now we can do it.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of, it feels like, yeah, there's a lot of good things happening in this volume.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And someone said earlier that they're surprised that Yang didn't do the whole like red eyes thing, but what we've seen from the last few volumes is that Yang's been like really working on like when to kind of lose her temper a little bit, because it uses a lot of her aura when she does, so she needs to know when it's worth using that energy and expending that aura to do that, whereas before like she might not have thought about it as much, but it matters more now. She lost her arm because of it, so
yeah, also that she recognizes like the aggression in round 2 and she doesn't feel like she needs to like match it. And then, because it is, as ultimately in this particular argument, it is Ren that blows up, it's not Yang. So he basically says, they're basically total failures and they've made things so much worse, and that everybody's going to die because of them, essentially.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, which is a really hard thing to hear. I mean, I know that he's obviously, like, he is having a time, he feels like, well, he's pushing people away, but he's deliberately doing it, and he feels like he's failed in a lot of ways, like, which he's been very, very hard on himself, but it's now projecting itself into how he's acting around other people to his detriment. Although, gotta say though, props to Neith for the voice acting of Ren, actually, and Barb, both of them in this scene were magnifique. But we've not really had Neith like have a full blown like argument like this, like very high tension argument, but he carried it so well, like so good. So props to both of them for this scene, because it really felt like, oh god.
It really felt like a real argument. And Miles as well, we'll get to Miles actually when we get to that kind of screenshot. So
this was the episode screenshot, and now we finally know what happened. And man,
such a low blow.
Why'd you have to do that? Yeah, so
it broke my heart.
Low blow.
It really broke my heart when he said it.
Yeah, I'm wondering how he, like, if he... I don't think John ever told anyone other than... Well, Pyrrha found out, but
I think he probably told his team.
I don't know if he did or not,
maybe.
though.
Don't know.
I can't remember if we ever had a scene that confirmed or denied that, but I know that Pyrrha knew, and then fucking Carden knew.
That's also true, Jack, that maybe he figured it out just from, like, his level compared to everybody else's level.
Yeah.
In Beacon.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, obviously Yang didn't know this.
No.
So she was surprised to hear it, but also like surprised
Wasn't
at
appropriate to say.
how cold
Yeah.
and like callous and deliberately hurtful that was.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because up to this point, Jean really has not done anything. Like, he was not arguing with Ren. It was Yang that was arguing with Ren. But because Jean tries to like
Jean
cool
was
it.
trying to Libra the situation
Yeah.
and be like, okay, so like both of you are right, but let's just go get warm.
Yeah.
No! Literally as I say it, Riot. It's such a Libra mood. It really is. The way that he was like, okay guys, like, I get what you're both saying, but like, let's just chill out a second.
And then we had actually a moment of regret from Ren here. Like, he knows what he said was too far.
Yeah.
He doesn't apologize for it, but like, he knows that this came out in anger and that he doesn't actually mean it.
Yeah.
Because Jean has earned his place, even if he did cheat his way in initially. Like, he has earned it since then more than
absolutely
most.
has.
So
I mean, we saw that in Volume 4 when he was going off and training by himself, as like heartbreaking as that was, when he was like learning from the old Pyrrha videos that he had.
yeah, the old
Like,
Pyrrha montages.
It was like from a
The
place of sadness.
RWBY Chibi Pyrrha montages.
No.
Just
It was from a place of sadness that he was learning, but he was willing to put the effort in to earn it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's...
Jean, come on now, guys. Right about my salad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Libra Gang, drop a like on the video.
Libra
If you
Gang,
haven't
Libra
already.
Gang. Yeah, so it was nice to see he at least regretted that, and he's not completely lacking in tact or emotions, that he knows that hurt,
Yeah.
and that he shouldn't have done that. And then we have Jean's reaction, which is actually a very mature reaction.
As much as it would have hurt him.
Yeah, like, obviously, in the past, I imagine the Jean that we knew in the earlier volumes, he would have reacted very defensively to this, whereas this Jean knows that, like, Ren is going through a hard time, but he also acknowledges that there's no point in arguing right now.
Yeah.
Because he literally says, like, fine, you don't think we're huntsmen, but it's cold and I don't want to die.
Like, you can think that we're not huntsmen,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, we need to find shelter. So,
Yeah.
like, what else?
Oh no, I'm a Leo with Yang, Leo gang. Don't bring that up, because you're gonna get into the star splaining again and how much you're annoyed at certain star assignments for Team RWBY, so don't do it.
Especially Blake, but we're not getting into it. We're just not opening that.
Yeah, let's not open that can of worms.
But you are a Taurus. Taurus gang, rise up.
Oh, is there a Taurus gang in
Yeah,
this?
Weiss Taurus gang.
Hey. So yeah, we have eventually this scene culminating in Yang saying, like, are you just trying to push people away then? And Ren, like, yep, that's what I'm doing.
Ren's like,
He's having such a
sad boy
time.
hours.
Like, it's hard to watch, but I think his development will be quite satisfying from this. Because he has always been very emotionally detached.
Yeah. He never really had the opportunity, because he just never grew up feeling like he could share his feelings, so...
Yeah, also that, Dan, like, I thought it in the moment too, like, Yang knows 100% pushing other people away.
And how
because
bad it is.
That's exactly what she did post-Volume 3. She pushed RWBY away, firstly. Kind of
Yeah.
pushed her dad away. And anybody else.
Yeah, it started to push Blake away as well when she felt like Blake just, like, left her alone kind of thing.
Yeah, anyone... Yeah, she did a very self-destructive thing. And can probably recognise it a little bit in Ren here too, this self-destructive behaviour to try and push anybody that wants, like, good things for him away and just
Yeah.
wants to help. So yeah, it'd be interesting if they do eventually have a conversation about this, you know, since they're going to be spending some time in a cabin before the earth rips open to the nine hells.
Ah yes, the Nine Hells.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Specifically. This was the worst. This is probably the worst scene in RWBY ever.
Props to the voice actor, man. It was...
So
A
I
tough
love
watch.
this shot, to be fair, because it feels like the start of a game, like where you're
like when you
wake
open
up.
Skyrim or something.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, traveler.
Yeah, it's literally that on the back of a wagon with your hands cuffed. Like what? Actually reminds me a little bit of the start of Bioshock Infinite as well. But yeah, basically, not a good way to wake up. And I love this POV shot of just like, oh no, he's hanging. He's in the hound's mouth still.
Yeah.
And then it only gets worse from here. We thought that like the hound throwing Oscar about was bad. Nah. They must have been rubbing their hands at the reaction to that, like, "Ooh, honey, you got a big storm coming."
Honey, you got a big storm coming.
Yeah.
It was hard.
It's something.
Aaron Mitchell, thank you. I did look up earlier, but my memory, terrible. Really bad.
Yeah, the thing about Oscar is obviously he is young, so like I'm always like, oh, I guess maybe they won't go too far with it because he's the youngest.
Because he's a baby.
Because he's
a
baby.
little farm boy.
But nope, apparently that was not gonna save him.
We've got this.
Loved this. Do you feel like there is any credence to the Hound's identity theory? Which particular one? There's a few.
I think maybe it is in relation to it being
Summer.
Yeah.
I kind of like that theory a lot.
I kind of like it, but it's
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It acts really weird, and Salem called it an experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And I can totally see that it might be something like that, because that would be like the ultimate fuck you to the Silver-Eyed Warriors, is like, I've literally twisted one of your own into this perfect hybrid Grimm that's like my pet, my baby.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, someone pointed out to me, I didn't manage to actually point it out on Twitter, but I didn't actually manage to grab it because it was really, really quick. When Salem's manipulating the dust here, they briefly appear like her little kids from the...
Oh, no way.
Yeah, you can't tell from that,
well,
but...
I can see that there are 3 shapes.
Yeah,
so...
from their little kiddies that they had.
That's sad.
Yep.
That's real
Sad that she murdered them.
Yep.
What?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, I didn't catch it in the episode, but someone pointed it out on Twitter, and I was like, oh, that's angsty.
Mm-hmm. Hello, sir.
And then we have... Finally, these two face to face.
I hated it when she kind of stepped out of the shadows and he was like, oh.
Well, this is a figure that he's obviously heard so much about, but never actually came face to face with.
Yeah.
This is the first time that they've met. And it's bad.
Jorah can see the fly. He just can't reach it.
Yeah. Yeah. So... That's not good for little Oscar. He doesn't know what Salem's gonna do because he hasn't met her. Obviously Ospen in his head's like, it's okay, bro. It's alright.
We're gonna be
okay.
alright.
Proceeds to
Ospen
be tortured.
Did not know what was coming either.
Yeah, so Oscar doesn't know what Salem's capable of, so he kind of plays it off as
They did have 4 girls. There was only 3 in the dust at the screenshot that Kelly had, but there were 4.
Yeah. Sorry, what was I saying?
I'm so sorry.
What was I saying?
You were talking about Ospen?
Oh, yeah, and Oscar. You're so helpful.
You know, this like memory loss thing that I've got going on, it's like super great.
The short-term memory thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's great.
He doesn't know what Salem's capable of. He probably thinks in a little part of him maybe he can reason with her, or he can put on the brave face and somehow get through this until the rest of the lads can rescue him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also Winter pointing out there that Salem refers to him as Ozma the whole time because she doesn't know him as Ozpin. That's how we've known him. But
yeah.
How she knew him was Ozma. That was like who she.
It's a really good like small detail as well because it's something so easy to glance over. You know, calling him Ozpin or Ozma.
I will talk about the beacon relic because I have theories. theories.
Oh, okay.
But I'll get to it in a second. Yes. So we have this like intense Salem shot where Oscar's trying to be a little bit cool. He's just like, yes,
he's trying to play it off.
Sad meeting like this again, babes. And she's just like, fuck.
Yeah. So
she just grabs that little boy's face and she is not happy. She's not here to play games anymore. And she doesn't care about Hart and Oscar. Oscar is completely meaningless to her in this scenario. So yeah, Sinister Salem, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
It's really scary.
It's been a long time coming. And then we have this horrific scene. So Salem uses her magic that we've seen her use in the flashbacky lower episode from Volume 6 on Oscar as the Hound just holds him. And it's horrific. Like, it like burns into his chest. We know that his aura is down. I don't know if it's recovered at all.
And not only that, like, God, Aaron did such a great job
Screaming?
doing the screams.
Screaming? Yeah, he did.
So this is something that I was discussing with Kelly in terms of the voice acting. Is if you closed your eyes during this scene, it would still be horrific to experience. You didn't have to have the visuals with this to know that this was a horrific thing that was happening. And I think that really shows, like, a really great voice actor that's able to portray that without the aid of any sort of visuals, how bad the situation really is.
They just straight up murdered the man in the recording booth to get that scream.
Yeah.
Honestly, they might as well have been. It was, he was hard to listen to, and I think something does make it worse, that the fact that Oscar is so young definitely makes it worse.
He also played Alphonse Elric in Full Metal.
And also, I'm pretty sure he's Aaron's English voice actor in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, so he's not short on knowing how to scream.
No, he knows how to scream, but, like,
yeah,
this sort of pained, like, long scream, and as you pointed out in the reaction, even afterwards when the blast is over, he's still, like, whimpering and gasping in pain from the aftershock. Yeah. This poor boy's gonna need therapy.
Yeah, it's like such small, simple things that really make a scene, that really bring it to life, like the gasps and the whimpering afterwards. Because when you're hurt like that, you don't just scream when you're getting the hit and then, like, don't make any noise afterwards. Like, it's still gonna hurt, and you could see it in him. Do you have a screenshot of it after the blast stopped?
No, I got a cool spooky Salem shot.
That's a brilliant
because she's just
shot.
So cold when she's doing this. Like, she's not happy about it or, like, sad. She's just, like, very, very cold. Like, this is what I'm doing. She doesn't see the person in front of her as anything other than Ozma, and she hates him.
Yeah.
She doesn't see Oscar at all, whereas obviously we, the audience, do.
Oscar's a baby. He's, like, baby. Is he not, like, 15?
Why did I think he was Aaron's voice actor? Why am I getting mixed up?
Let me have a quick look.
But yeah. Also, to be fair, I don't watch the dub of that, so I wouldn't actually know that very well. I just must have read it somewhere incorrectly.
He did the voice for...
Who is he? Which Titan?
Oh, fucking hell. It's gonna give me all of the Japanese voice actors as well. Pause. Poggers.
Yeah, poor little Oscar. I don't know how he's gonna get out of this one, but it makes me realise that probably the rest of this volume, a good portion of it, is going to be how are we going to get Oscar back. And this is obviously a scenario that a lot of people talked about happening for a long time and were really excited about.
Yeah.
The idea of Salem kidnapping Oscar, and it's finally fucking happened, and it's brutal to watch.
Really brutal to watch.
Then we have actually a pretty defiant Oscar, despite being just lasered by Salem. It really doesn't matter.
No, I there was something that I saw and I want an answer.
Okay. Yeah, he's defiant despite his I'm gonna just...
No.
You're too distracted.
I'm still listening.
Yeah.
I'm mad because it came up saying that he was in the live action Attack on Titan, so he must have done a dub for one of them, but I don't know. Anyway.
Yes. So what was I saying?
I don't know.
Because you were still listening. Because you were still listening, weren't you? You were still listening, weren't you? It was just my short-term memory. Bad, Senny, bad.
You were talking about how defiant he is, despite the fact that he has just got hurt.
Just been through shit.
Yeah.
No. I can talk about the Beacon Relic theory that I have. Because obviously Salem was specifically asking about this in this scene that she can't find it, and she has no idea where it is, but it seems to be hidden better. And we did also have, I'm pretty sure Osmond commented about that relic and saying, oh yeah, I made that one really hard to find.
Yeah, he did mention it.
Okay, here's my theory, because we know what that relic looks like. Do you know what that relic looks like? The beacon relic? Do you know what it looks like? A crown.
Crown.
Do you know who has a crown on her fucking cape?
Is it her crop?
No!
Is it her riding crop?
No. She has a crown on her back.
On her back, I know.
On her fucking cape, bro. Listen, Glimpse Glinda, fucking big braining this shit.
Do you know who would be so proud of you right now? Shark Boy.
Me and Shark Boy have had this discussion and had a meltdown when we realised the connection. You know how we always talk about how it's really hard to glimpse Glinda?
She's in hiding.
That's why it's so hard. That's why the beacon relic is so hard to find, because Glinda has the beacon relic, but you can't glimpse Glinda.
Do you know what you sound like right now? It's the Wicked Witch of the East, bro!
Well, it's Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So, I honestly though, see if Glinda ties into this, because she does have the crown symbol on her cape.
She does.
So, it might not actually be that far-fetched. Not that she's literally, like, invisible and you can't glimpse her, but maybe she is tied into where the beacon relic is.
Yeah.
Also, Ozpin trusted Glinda, I think, more than any of his other inner circle. So I wouldn't surprise me if he trusted her with it. And what a way to bring Glinda back into the game. I know that it won't be the same voice actress, but what a way to bring her back.
I mean, some of the voice actors have changed. We know that. They're doing a great job. So,
yeah, so
like, as sad as it'll be that it's not the same voice actress for Glinda.
Yeah.
Maybe Glinda is the relic.
Oh, man.
The crown is on her cape.
Is it not? I'm sure she has a symbol of a crown on her back. Listen, what are you doing? Imagine you broke the live stream. This is like true research on the job. Does she not? You need a picture of her cape, bro. These are all front cape pictures.
Crown.
She's got a crown on her back. Okay.
It's on the cape.
Wait. Let me enhance that image.
Oh Lord.
This now becomes
right there.
This conspiracy stream. Listen. Oh no, I've opened a Minecraft, Glinda. How did that even happen? Okay. I've got this. Don't even worry about it. Here she fucking comes. Here she comes! I'm losing my mind in this stream. What do we see here? We see a crown.
Do you know what else is a crown? The relic.
Wow. Sorry, this stream went off the rails. We're deep in the Glinda lore now, bros.
We are.
But anyway, Glinda, you glimpsed her. She's gone.
She's gone. Glimpsed. Only.
Only glimpsed. Okay. Next screenshot.
Now that we've gotten rid of that.
Oh, Shark, I need to actually send that specific segment to Shark Boy. He'd be so proud. I think he literally possessed me for 5 minutes there.
Well, that's what happens. His spirit can be contagious.
So, now we have Hazel walking in to do some more physical torture because Oscar's not breaking.
And, you know, Oscar's not been through enough. He's, you know, been mauled by a weird Grim. He's just been absolutely blasted by Salem. So why not just have a little gut punch?
Listen, I don't think Hazel's redeemable now.
No.
I didn't know if he was redeemable before, but this has sort of pushed me past the point of wanting to see him redeemed for any reason. Like, obviously, we know that he's fought Oscar before. He fought him in Haven, but that was also Ozpin kind of assisting in that particular scenario, so it wasn't quite the same. But there's a big difference here because Oscar is alone, he is unarmed, and he's just being beaten for the sake of information. Like, that's a kind of different level of dark than it was Haven, so I don't see any hope for Hazel after this. I know that people had their fun theory about like
Hazel being a dad
with Emerald and Mercury, the dysfunctional kind of crime family that just leave. But yeah, I think he's too far gone for that
He is too
that
far
shenanigans anymore.
It's a shame because I really did hope that he would be a little bit redeemable, but
yeah.
it's just not happening.
Yeah, and then we see him like walk up like, I'm gonna fuck you up, so
Yeah, that first punch was for this, but now I'm going to beat you up. And it's like, alright, guys.
Hazel was really like, my sister died young, so I'm gonna beat the shit out of a defenseless child in revenge. Yeah, Hazel didn't think this one through. I guess you could say blinded by grief, but I don't even know if you can call it grief anymore. I think he's just kind of lost the plot a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think your Neo Emerald is the only people that are really redeemable amongst the villains now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think they're the only ones that you could really consider have any chance of not redeeming themselves, but also not becoming, like, genocidal maniacs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And child beaters. And then we had this hilarious scene of Salem and Cinder having a little chat in the whale with the hound, now accompanying Salem wherever she goes by the looks of things. And she gave it a little scritchies. And Cinder's not happy because she's just been replaced by a dog.
Yeah.
She's not happy about it.
Here's a dog.
There's also a dog, yes.
Hi, Bora.
How am I supposed to do these things with you, man? You get so distracted whether it's a fly or the dog or your own brain. Yeah, so she's not happy about this, and when Cinder starts to get a little bit mouthy here, she's like, I'll go get the Were Maiden, like, you can trust me on this. And then Salem's like, no, shut up.
Yeah,
and
the hound was like, ah!
Yeah.
And she was like...
Yeah, and Neo the whole time was just like...
Yeah, Neo in the background was literally like... It barked and Cinder jumped and Neo was like...
Yeah, I love that Neo was here for this whole scene. She must be like, oh my god, Cinder, like, you literally... You act so high and mighty, and then as soon as Sailor comes in, you're like... Madam,
please, your grace, I will kiss your shoes if you allow me to do this one thing for you.
Yeah, it must just be like such whiplash for her because she's like used to Cinder being like, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Cinder's like, yes, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I think that this is... Yeah, I got the raised eyebrow, like, girl, what you doing?
Love this.
What are you playing
Honestly,
at?
one of my favourite parts about the Cinder and Neo shots is Neo making vague gestures and Cinder just knowing what the fuck she's saying with them.
Yeah, that scene with them walking.
This one, where she's just, like, she was like this, and she was like, yeah, well, I know that already.
Yeah. We have no choice but to stand a queen here because she doesn't need to do this, but she decided that instead of walking down this ramp, she was going to float down this ramp.
And then she tippy-toed across
the
top. Did you?
No, I don't know if I got her tippy-toeing, but I got her landing on the... She lands on the airship. She is that extra. She doesn't need to be, but she did it anyway.
I love her.
And once again, reminding everyone why Neo is so beloved, because she just has to do little things like that. Neo seeing that maybe she isn't so different from Cinder after all, and knowing she got the better end of the evil boss shtick. Perhaps.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think Neo is very ready to bow out of the Salem things, but she might be she still kind of low-key wants to kill Cinder, but also she's probably sort of balancing her options here a little bit now. Like, she's definitely not ride or die for the whale cult, but...
No, she doesn't want to join this hell cult that's going on.
But she also doesn't want to die.
No, and she doesn't want to make an enemy of Salem either, because she's dangerous.
So I think that for now, Neo reluctantly is probably going to stick with Cinder. And you know what? I do enjoy their dynamic a lot. It's been probably the best thing for Cinder's character for a long time. Has been their dynamic together. So yeah, I'm hoping that it lasts a lot longer.
This is why I've been talking about it for years.
I mean, it is a cult of Richard, but it's also a whale cult. A whale cult makes it sound really weird. And then we had poor little Emerald. Girl, please realise
Please find someone else to simp for.
Please. Cinder is an abusive piece of shit to you.
Find someone else to simp for.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, she's obviously someone that's not seen...
Oh, man. Everyone's just calling it Dick Cult now.
Dick Cult Bros. Fuck. It's because we're so close to 269. That's why.
It's 276.
Wow, madness. Yeah. So Emerald, girl,
Oh.
stop. Just stop. But Emerald, from what we've seen, like, nobody has actually treated her with kindness.
No.
So she has no way of, like, registering how she should or shouldn't Youngwood.
Yeah, I just didn't like that red square being up on the screen.
Okay. She has no idea how to be treated. Like, she thinks, which is really kind of common with actually people that are abused and have toxic people in their lives, is that she doesn't realize,
she doesn't recognize,
like, bad behavior. She doesn't realize someone being toxic to her. She thinks that, like, how Cinder has been for her, because she sees Cinder as having saved her and given her a purpose. She sees Cinder's treatment of her as, like, a kindness.
Yeah,
whereas
because
obviously
no one else was kind.
We, the audience, are like, what? Like, bro, just walk away. But it is hard for her to walk away when she's not got anything else to balance it out against. And you can't, as much as Mercury has sometimes stood up with her, he's not exactly been a positive influence in her life either.
No, absolutely not. And especially, like, when they were around, like, Team RWBY, she was like, oh my god, they're just so happy all the time. Like, that's disgusting. Like, how can someone be so happy all the time? And it's because she doesn't know what it's like to be happy.
You know what else is also really interesting is that, like, that's why Neo doesn't put up with Cinder's shit the same way.
Because she knows what it was
because
like
she knows what it's like to be happy and to have someone that, as much as her and Roman were doing the be gay do crime shtick, they also, like, Roman genuinely cared about her as an ally and, like, an equal partner.
Well, you could tell that from when Neo got, like,
yeeted. He was devastated.
He was like, oh my god.
Yeah. So she knows what it's like. So the way that Emerald's acting is weird to her, because she can also see how badly that Cinder has treated Emerald, and she's like, bro, why are you being like this?
But unfortunately, I don't think Emerald can read Neo's cues as well as Cinder can.
No. But
so she can't, like, look at her and be like, are you fucking kidding me? And Emerald would be able to register that. She would just be like, whatever.
I'm so ready, though, for... That's literally what I was about to say there, Slayer, is the combo of their two semblances, which are fairly similar. The illusions, obviously, Emerald's is more, like, getting into people's heads, whereas Neo's is actually, like, physical illusions that can be shattered. But if they combine their semblances...
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
And we know that both of them have improved their semblances a lot.
Yeah.
So that they could create some pretty powerful illusions. I don't know what Cinder is going to go check on, though. I'm scared that she's going to go for Winter again.
Well, she wants to... No, she saw that when the
she knows
Penny
that
got
she
it.
knows that... yeah, I know that she knows that Winter doesn't have the maiden powers. But she also knows that she fucked Winter up, so she might try and go to her to get information.
Maybe.
I don't know, but she said she needs to, like, check something out, is basically what she says.
Yeah, there was no, like, further confirmation of what that is apart from that.
Yeah.
So, could be anything.
Yeah, I suppose Neo and Emerald could be a new crack ship, actually. What would that be called?
Mint ice cream. It's
Mint-
already got a name.
Mint ice cream. I
It's
like
mint
it.
ice cream.
I fucking love mint ice cream.
Yeah.
Kind of want mint ice cream now. Order me some mint ice cream.
Alright. Simp.
I'm gonna close the window because there's
Okay.
some things popping off outside now.
Yeah, it's really actually very noisy out there.
Maybe it's some giant flies.
Oh, great. Just what we need.
Do you want to jump to the next screen grab?
No.
Oh,
And then we go back here.
yeah. Did she say she was going to check on Amity? I think she said she needed to check she needed to check something out. I don't know if she specifically
I would need to
said
watch it again. I'm not sure.
Amity. The sad shack.
Oh my god, you're so right.
Yeah.
I'll cry.
So I took this, actually, you know what? We're blowing this one up because...
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Actually, I'm scared it fucks all my other ones. We're near the end, it's fine.
We're fine.
Oh no.
Oh.
Never mind.
Never mind, we can't do that.
Well, I could lift it up, but it might break everything if I do.
Yeah.
Let me try. You raise me up. There she goes. Raise me up like Atlas. You know what? It's just worth making a big screen because it's such a nice shot.
Yeah, and you can see Yang rummaging.
Rummaging.
Rummaging. Yeah.
Like, classic thief. Yeah, I just really like this shot. It's just so nicely put together, and again, it shows how isolated they are. This is clearly an abandoned outpost, there's nobody there.
No.
So the person that's there is either dead or they left.
Yeah.
Which is very, very...
Someone's uniform is hanging
Yeah,
up
it's a
there.
military uniform,
Yeah.
though. Looks very Atlas, Deadly
Mariah
Army.
Carey playing in the distance.
Yeah, Yang turns on the radio, like Manchester Clerk, get powered up an old radio. And that just starts up in the background, and then she just like turns it down again.
And Sean's like, oh my god, no, turn it off. My sisters used to sing this to me all the time. Every Christmas.
Yeah. Imagine. It'd be such a weird gag.
Yeah.
Just for the Christmas episode. Yes, appreciate the hell out of that shot.
Good luck trying to find where the fuck we were.
Oh god.
Actually, there should be a break in the names of the files.
Yeah. You find it then, Senny. Go on.
Oh my god. Let go then.
Oh, hey, there we go. No. Hey, there we go. Hey, there we go.
There we go. Put that off.
There you go. So, yeah, poor Jean. He tries really hard
Sean's
here.
really Libra-ing it up, man.
Yeah, he knows that Ren's going through shit, and he's actually, considering what Ren said to him, he's actually been very good. The fact
Very
that he
diplomatic
hasn't
about it.
went like, shut up, dude.
Yeah.
He's just basically said, yeah, I know you're going through it, but stop trying to push people away. Like, I tried to do the same thing. It's not good. Like, we're all here for you. We all want this to work out and end well, but you need to stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Ren is still not receptive to such things, and I know a lot of it is his own guilt, but he's not helping himself or the others, and he stomps out. I actually really liked that Yang and John's little dynamic since the team split. I love the team split, actually.
Do you know, this is the perfect example of, like, golden retriever boy and chaotic, like, bisexual / lesbian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
They're
so,
just
so much.
they do have some similarities actually in how they are. They're both kind of motherly in their way to like wanting to look after everybody else, even if it's to their own detriment. Yeah. And yeah, I've actually really liked their dynamic this episode, but just so far generally, but particularly this episode. And obviously Yang's like, don't worry about what Ren said, like, you have earned this.
Yeah.
Don't take it to heart. You deserve to be here like everybody else.
Yeah.
Which I think is good for him to hear, because maybe he does still doubt. I'm sure he still has doubts about whether he deserves to be there or not. Because he knows that he cheated to get there.
Yeah.
But then obviously has worked a lot harder since. But there will be moments where he doubts, like, his own ability and whether he actually deserves to be with everybody else where they're at. So, and it's probably especially nice to hear from Yang, because Yang's been through a fuck ton.
Yeah. Also, what is the next screenshot? Can I just check?
Okay.
Before we get into this, there's something that I noticed in the rewatch before we did this one, which is Jean said that he knows what it's like to push people away, which was Pyrrha, but then it cuts back to Yang, and Yang glances down at the red sash on his belt and then turns around, and then it leads into this conversation, which I thought was really interesting, because I think she was already thinking about Blake and didn't know whether she was going to bring it up or not, and then when he said that and she like looked at Pyrrha's sash, she was like, yeah.
Well, that's,
Yeah, it's time to bring up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. We're getting our crumbs, boys. Yangst is on the menu.
I didn't expect Yangst today either.
No, neither did I, actually. But yeah, I love that everybody's like, yeah, because she had like the purple battery or whatever it is, like that's made her go like... Yeah, that's a fact right there. But yeah, I do love that everyone's like, it's because she saw purple that made her think of Blake, which is just like every fan fiction ever.
Yeah. But it's true.
It's true that the colour does tie to Blake, so it's not
and
actually
it's
that
like
far-fetched.
the perfect Blake coloured purple.
Yeah.
So.
But it's probably playing in her head to it a little bit, because, I mean, they did almost die, and this is not going so well.
Yeah.
And they're now alone, and they could possibly still die out here, so I'm sure, like, thoughts are going back to regrets. And this is obviously a little bit of a regret for Yang. Obviously, the way they played the scene, we weren't sure exactly what they were going to go. They were quite clever with it, because initially, yes, you were like, is she thinking about RWBY though? Is she thinking about RWBY though?
So, like, when she said it, in my head, I was like, this isn't about RWBY, but I don't want to be, like...
Jump the gun.
That person that all of the people that hate Bumblebee look at and go, see?
Yeah.
These people just jump at anything. And now, so I
held.
held my tongue. I held.
Yeah.
And then when it was the, RWBY, I was like, oh!
Yeah. So, yeah, we're getting those breadcrumbs. We obviously, it was interesting for her to say this, because they did not end things so well. You could see that Blake was hurt by the way that Yang pieced out. So, and we know that, I'm sure that Yang feels a little bit bad about how things went with RWBY too. But I'm sure it's not the first time that her and RWBY have had an argument.
No.
Whereas, doing what she did with Blake probably hurts a little bit more, and she is feeling a little bit guilty, and especially because their mission as it was has kind of went to shit.
Yeah. And not only that, someone else pointed out that they kind of like made a promise to each other that they were always going to be there for each other, and maybe at this point Yang is feeling the guilt because she feels like she broke that promise by choosing to go a separate way from the rest of the group for what she believed was right.
It's not just that though, it's that, like, she was so, the rest, they all kind of were, but she was so stubborn in like what she wanted to do. And yes, they did manage to help some people at Mantle, but they've also just like lost Oscar.
Yeah.
And like it's all gone to hell. So she probably is like now not reconsidering it completely, but feeling a bit of regret that they didn't have more of a conversation before she left.
Yeah, because Yang left angry.
Yeah, Yangry.
Like, she didn't want to be like, we're gonna be okay, like, we'll see each other soon. She just walked away. So
so it's interesting to see that she's having that time in her head. I can't remember what my next screen grab is actually. I think it is Yeah Boy. I think it's still Yang. Oh yeah, I like this little look when she. I think there's a moment of hesitation where
she's like, "Do I clarify?"
Yang, honey, I lost the kid. Oh Jesus. I just imagine that like text like, "Hey, we lost the farm, son boy."
Hey, so oh my god,
what was that?
The fuck was that?
What was that? Was that a ghost? That was so loud, bro. We're gonna die now. It's gonna be a horror film like Paranormal Activity, and you guys, all 269 of you, are gonna have to watch us die. You're properly freaked out.
I don't know where that came from.
The wall. There's something in the walls.
That was really scary, though. I don't like it. It even freaked out Jorah.
Jorah gets freaked out by fucking everything, man.
I'm trying to figure out if, like, something fell.
Nah.
But I can't see anything that could have fallen.
It was loud, to be fair. That's probably why it sounded close to the mic. Are you shooketh now?
Yeah, I'm really scared.
Go check the door if you're that paranoid.
I don't want to.
Are you seriously gonna send me? Fine. You wrangle the chat and I'll check the door. If I get murdered, that'll make a good live stream.
No, it won't. I'll be really sad. Okay, the door's locked. So...
You're good. It'll be something fell, like, in another flat.
Yeah. People are saying that Jorah might have knocked the dresser, but it sounded like something hit the wall, so, like, maybe he did hit the dresser, but it was just a bit too loud.
No, I think it was something, like, through the wall.
Yeah.
But there's, like, literally another flat through that wall.
Yeah, we have a neighbour through here, so it might have just been something, like, falling on the wall. Like
yeah.
It happens.
You're good. I love how you instantly go ghosts. You
don't No, I wasn't thinking ghosts, but it gave me a big frighten.
Frighten.
And the worst thing about being frightened is not knowing where something came from.
Hit almost 300 witnesses to her death.
Yay!
Ghost busting stream. But yeah, I think that Yang definitely like briefly thought about saying the truth. Like you can see it kind of go through her head when John's like, oh yeah, like you and RWBY having a time, but it's fine, you still love each other. I think she did briefly consider being like, oh no, I was talking about Blake, but she just kind of holds her tongue for now. Like she's not ready to say it yet. I think maybe she is holding it because she wants to say it to Blake.
Yeah.
As much as Jean's a good guy and he's trustworthy, she hasn't told anyone anything about this.
Exactly. But then we get this, like, nice little transition between Jean being like, oh, question mark, and then being like,
a little soft smile.
It's like my sister.
Like, he knows. He totally knows.
He knows. He has a gay sister. He knows.
That's true. I always forget that he has,
yeah.
his sister. So he knows what's up. But I think it was very nice that he's not going to bring it up again, obviously, but everybody else seems to be very aware of it. I'm pretty sure RWBY and Yangst are aware of it. Nora's clearly aware of it. I don't know about Ren. So it's not that surprising that Jean's maybe questioned it, and that to him, that hesitation was like a confirmation. In his head, it's like, oh, okay, so that is a thing. Yeah. Cool, I wonder how that'll work out. Good for them, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he wants Yang to have happiness and Blake to have happiness, so...
Yeah.
Soft boy. Quick question, what do you think about the really strong theory that Neo will speak for the first time this volume?
I don't know, because part of the... I want to say appeal. A lot of her character is based on the fact that she doesn't talk. So she has to be a lot more expressive in what she's doing to portray how she's feeling about things. And I think that's a real strength to Neo, and I feel like that's why so many people really appreciate her, is because there's a whole different way of characterization for Neo, and the fact that she doesn't speak. She just...
Neo say fuck.
is. But then, like...
Yeah, I think they confirmed her as mute.
Yeah, but there are different ways of being mute as well. Like, there could be mute because your voice box doesn't work. There could be mute because you don't have a tongue. And there also could be mute because of trauma. And people that are mute because of trauma can come to speak later in life.
Sorry. So I'm just in my head thinking that, like, if Jean was actually going to be really dim in this moment, he's just like, oh yeah, Yang must be talking about ways. They're totally a thing. And then it's just like in my head, I'm like, divorce papers.
You said it in the reaction.
I know, it came back into my head.
Yeah. And then Yang was like, well, Jean was like, I'm gonna hit the sack. And he's probably lying there like, oh my god, Yang's gay.
No.
No, absolutely not.
He was probably hitting the sack, as he said, like,
exactly.
Oh my god, Oscar, I hope you're okay.
Yeah. But he was like, I'm gonna go sleep. And Yang was like, yeah, bro, you go do that. I'm just gonna make sure that Ren doesn't brood himself to death out in the cold, which I was like, nice.
Brood to death?
Yeah, brood to death.
He is looking like he's trying to brood to death out there. It looks fucking freezing.
It's freezing. Have you ever tried to sit in the snow without a snow coat on?
Yeah,
Terrible
it's cold.
idea.
Why are all the girls around me gay?
It's okay, he'll find a nice
So we had this really cool shot that transitions from outside the cabin to Ren in the snow to Neo definitely seems like a trauma type mute with implications of having nothing and fighting for her life before torture came into her life. Yeah, well, we got that from her song in the Volume 6 soundtrack that, yeah, she obviously was not in a good place. So I wouldn't be surprised if hers is trauma based. Which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, it just...
Which means that there might be a possibility that she might speak in the future. I'm not for or against her speaking. I like that she doesn't speak. I think it really is a very different type of character, and one that I haven't really seen portrayed the way we see her. But if she does talk in the future, that's fine, because it means she's getting over her trauma and she's learning to heal, so maybe she'll talk. Oh. Yeah.
And then we obviously have the fault line, like this crack in the earth at the end, not super far away from where the bike boys are, camping out for the night, which gives me major concern. But I just don't know if it's Grimm related, if it's the caverns under Mantle, because we know that there's a mining system obviously out in the tundra, so which could go on quite what?
Cammy said. Blake at the fault line, hey, since you're cracking open, could you call Yang for me?
Fuck. I hate this meme that we've started.
Yeah. Also, I did think about the poster in episode 3 that it was maybe a shark. You said it too.
Wait, no, we can't have the megalodon under there, bro. We can't. It's too much. There's just too many giant things, and it turns into Godzilla, because we got a giant whale as well. Nah. Nah, I don't think it's gonna be a big.
Shark Boy is under there secretly.
I just don't think that. Oh my god, Neo with a.
I've always headcanoned that if Neo could talk, that she would have like a kind of not posh, but that kind of like almost upper class
English
British
accent.
English, yeah.
Don't say British because you'll trigger the Scottishness in
I
me.
know.
Since Britain also contains Scotland, and we do not have a British
Yeah.
accent.
No, but yeah,
Yeah.
the that kind of almost upper class.
Yes,
London.
Victorian posh.
Victorian posh is it?
Yes. And she just swears a lot too, despite having a posh accent. That's what I imagine Neo's like.
Hey Neo, can you call Yang? Thanks.
Hey Neo, can you call Yang? Thanks. Imagine. Yeah, I just want this to be a meme now. Just like anybody but Blake, can you call Yang? Like somehow managed to get in touch with Raven. Like, hey, I know you guys aren't on good terms, but you just call Yang and check he's okay.
Yeah.
I've got like no
you're her
data.
mom.
I got no signal.
And Raven's like, you called me, so you must have signal. And she's like, we can like bye. Oh my god, Jorah just tried to eat the fly.
Well, good. Maybe you'll get rid of the fly.
Hey, good boy.
Wow, this whole stream had an arc. The fly was alive. The fly's now dead. Jorah ate the fly.
At the end of the conversation for it.
Yeah, what do you think it is that's causing the earth to tear open?
I don't know. It really scares me because I have no idea.
Do you think that it's going to come into fruition like next episode, or if it's going to be something they hold on to for a while?
If we see the biker boys next episode, we will be seeing what's under there, I think.
Yeah, because it's not far, and it could very much be a frozen lake.
Yeah.
Which is a yikes. Because it could be a Grimm, big boy Grimm, or it could be lots of small Grimm.
Yeah.
Everything about their current scenario does remind me of the Apathy arc in Volume 6, which was one of my favourite arcs, so I'm totally here for it. I'm loving the team dynamic split still, because it makes the reunion so much sweeter.
It really does.
What are you doing?
I was just looking for some.
Okay. Richard does classify it as a Leviathan, so it can be more Grimm sleeping on device. I don't know if I want a big Grimm though. I feel like we've got a lot of big Grimm. If it's gonna be Grimm, it needs to be something weird. Maybe some like weird. Well, there's the fish thing that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Babes,
I would call Yang if I had Yang's number, but I wouldn't be calling Yang for Blake.
The squid shark or contest winner Grimm, possibly, because we haven't seen that yet. And we know it's in the volume, but how big is this gonna be, or is it just lots of little ones?
It's a lot of a crack.
Yeah, and if it's them, will they not just stay in the lake? Like, I can't imagine. Can they walk up? Do they have little legs?
They're Grimm.
Oh yeah, I suppose they could sprout limbs.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a horrible thing to wake up to, a bunch of weird fish outside the cabin, like the little eyes, red eyes. Yeah. Like, oh no. Wait, how many beds were in that cabin? 2?
There were 2 bunk beds, so there's 4.
Oh, okay. So there's not
there's
that.
There's either 2 or there's 4.
So there's not that. Oh, there was only one bed.
And there was only one
there was.
bed.
I know there was at least one bunk bed.
Yeah.
But you know, Ren would be so pissed off and petty right now. He would 100% sleep on the floor and mope. He's like, yeah, I'll just sleep on the floor. And Yang's like, all right,
alright, whatever. Climbs up to the top bunk.
Throws herself in the only way that Yang can.
Do you need a blanket down there? And Ren's like, no. And she's like, all right, night.
Silverfish are small shellfish Grimm that can merge together to become a big Grimm. Ew. We all never forget that there was only one bed in the Neo Cinder hotel room, and suddenly that ship had like fuel.
I will never forget that day.
For as long as I live.
Yeah, like considering I had been shipping it for 3 years at that point, that was such a good
What is it you
payoff.
call it? Cinnamon
cream.
Cinnamon cream.
With an S.
With an
for
S,
sin.
yes. I also think it's like that Blake and Watts will be killed very soon, as in War there's death, and Blake's death would really affect him. I can't see them killing any of the main members of Team RWBY.
No.
I just can't see
Hurting them, sure.
I can see them killing some of like the, I don't want to say B characters, but I could see I feel like Ren has such heavy death flags, and so does Nora. I could see something bad happening to them, like one of them dying. I don't know if they'll kill Penny, but Penny seems like she's going to be a significant threat.
Yeah, but
so they might
they're
have
not
to.
going to kill anyone on Team RWBY.
No, not until probably like the last volume, if they were ever gonna. It just wouldn't make. It would just be. It would feel like it would just be for shock value if they did it this volume.
Yeah, I think it might have been you earlier that had said, and I might be totally wrong, it might have been someone else, but someone certainly mentioned that they thought that Blake had death flags because she's not really had that many, like, lines in the last 3 volumes, but you have to remember that there are actually quite a lot of characters here, and not everyone can have lots of dialogue all the time, because then it would just be dialogue only.
Also, she got quite a lot in volume 6.
She did. So
she just took a step back last volume, but she's doing more stuff this volume again.
Yeah, she's doing a lot more stuff this volume. She's
And
done important things in the last couple of volumes too. So.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they I'm hoping they execute the team split like going forward well. I think they will though, based on how they've done it so far. I can't see that it's gonna get like worse. I think they've paced it really, really well. Yeah. And like the tension, especially for the biker boys, is so high.
Yeah.
Every week it's like, oh, it's worse. How's it worse? How has it managed to get worse? I thought you said he killed the fly.
I thought he had.
He's clearly still on a mission to kill this fly.
Maybe there's another one.
Jesus. I'm glad that he's having such a good time.
Yeah.
Alright. But that is our recap of the episodes. There is no more screen grabs to grab or talk about.
Great.
Do you know what that means?
I do. It means it's time to go and get water.
Yeah, it means we're in for the round 4 of the Senny RWBY recap, which I honestly, if you manage this, like, hats off to you. Hats off to you. This episode is like 20 minutes. It's the longest episode of the volume so far, and also we jump to basically every character at some point. So I don't think she's got it, but I'm sure a good effort will be made. Listen, I know people miss Cursed Corner, but it was too cursed. 2020's cursed enough. It didn't need that energy. The fact that Blake apparently screams a lot in this volume and we haven't heard her scream yet worries me. Yeah, it feels like there's so much unknowns for this volume left, because we have now seen everything from the trailer, and now it feels like very unknown what's going to happen next. Like, I don't think the biker team are now going to be trying to evacuate Mantle because of what's happened with Oscar, and then obviously RWBY's group have done what they need to do. So there's all this potential of what the hell is going to happen next. I'm assuming that RWBY and the rest of them are going to try and figure out how Yang and Ren and Jean are doing, because yeah, not hearing from them is quite concerning. So I think that's probably what their next focus is going to be, is make sure that they're okay. Because they could provide backup. They have an airship, so they could get to them quickly if they know a roundabout-ish where they are. But obviously the other issue is that they don't have a signal, so how would they do that? We shall see. There's a lot of unknowns.
Hi, Jordan.
The only guarantee now is the sulfurfish grim. That's true. And that's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, and also Penny being hacked. I feel like that's a guarantee at this point. Everything suggests it's going to happen. If Senny is able to get through this recap, I will call Yang. Alright, guys, Blake needs somebody to call Yang, so could you guys, if you want to call Yang, could you volunteer in the chat if you're going to call her? Because Blake can't call her, because she's got no signal, she's got no data, so chat, you need to volunteer to call Yang.
You need to call Yang, guys.
It's just like F's in the chat. Oh man. Yang's phone just like, she's trying to phone like, we're dying, and the phone's just ringing over and over again.
Oh god, there's so many. This is actually gonna be really hard.
Let's all call Yang.
I'll call her and tell her to propose already.
I'm volunteered to call her. Hey Robin, I know you're in jail, but can you call Yang?
I think this is one of the favourite memes that have come out of the live stream. There have been so many, but this is
This is a good one. This is one that I enjoy. Oh. You have 420 new messages. Oh, fuck. Yo, Pyrrha, can you call Yang? I just love the idea for calling Robin, like, you know how we told you that thing once? Like, can you just call Yang as a favor to me? Because we told you.
Like, you know how I told you the truth and, like, we held hands and, like, you totally trust me now? Can you just call Yang?
She's okay. Don't tell her I told you to call.
Yeah.
Just say you're checking in as a pal. Wow, we'd love our useless bisexual cat.
Blake
Jesus
to
Christ.
Crow, hey, I know you're emotionally guilt-tripping yourself over Clover's death and you're in jail, but can you call Yang?
I love this meme. I need to post on
Blake
these.
to Zwei, hey, can you call Yang? Hey, Summer, I know you're dead, but can you call what? Glenda, can you call Yang, please?
I love this meme. Oh, no.
Oh, a Grim talked? You think it can call Yang?
Yeah, she talks to fucking Fiona. Oh yeah, she said a Grim talk. Oh, cool, can call her then.
Cool.
Oh, guys, we broke it. This is gonna be the fucking meme for the volume now. You know what's gonna happen? She's gonna eventually call Yang, and one of her reactions are gonna be like,
She called Yang!
and everyone else that's not in the live stream is gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Everyone's gonna be like, of course she was gonna call Yang at some point.
Why are you losing your minds, you shipping pieces of trash? Little did they know. We are both shipping pieces of trash.
Oh yeah, I forgot that it has this
Yeah, you can expand it a little bit.
How do you hide that?
I don't know.
Well, it was better the way it was.
Adam, do you think your scroll has self-service underwater or nah? Wow. There's just so many. Can you call Yang? I hate that this is a thing now, but I
because
love
there are so many characters in RWBY that there are plenty of people to ask.
Yeah, now I decree to you guys, the same way that you guys did with, like, Richard and all the other crap that's came out of these live streams, just spam this on Twitter and anywhere that RWBY content is.
Yeah.
It means people will be able to be like, I see you were in the Shalom live stream, I see you. Right. Now that we've established that everybody's going to call Yang, except Blake, because that would be too needy. Let's jump into your rapid
I'm so nervous.
recap. Yeah. Whew. Are you ready for this?
No.
There's a lot of screen grabs. So if you've not been here before, which there is actually quite a lot of people in here, yep. The challenge is fairly simple in that Sani here has to recap the events of the episodes in a minute.
1 minute.
Or less.
Last week I managed to do it in less. I don't fucking know how.
You did. This one I think is going to be a hard one.
Yeah.
I will give you a 30-second warning when we reach 30 seconds.
Sorry for all the shit that you had to get for that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Are you ready? Let me get the timer up. You're gonna get stuck on the "Can you call Yang" meme.
Can you call Yang?
Can you call Yang?
Oh god. See, because we jump from so much, I'm like really scared that I like miss something. But that's fine.
That's part of the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Right. Whenever you're ready, Sani, I will fire the heavy cannons.
I'm so anxious again because there is so much in this one. Okay.
Ready? Take a breath, stretch out those lungs. Right, you ready?
Sure.
Go.
Okay, so we have some nice Robin and Crow bonding, and then Harriet's like, I'm gonna fight you, and Maro's like, no, we're not gonna do that. And then we jump to the biker boys, and they're trying to go after Oscar, and it's a really cool sequence, and then Yang and John kind of fall off the cliff, and Ren's like, fuck, I'm gonna have to, like, save them instead of Oscar, so he does that, and then we jump to the Schnee Manor, and Whitley's like, nah, you can't come in my fucking house, and when Weiss is like, I'm coming in, it's my house too. And then Blake's like, hey, you
30
could just
seconds.
like call Yang, but we can't get there. And then we jump back to the biker boys, and then we're having a confrontation with Ren. Ren says something completely out of order, and then we go to Oscar, and Oscar's getting tortured by Salem, and it's really horrifying. And then we jump to Cinder and Neo, and Neo's really cute, and then Emerald's like, I want to help because I'm a simp. And then we jump back to the biker boys. We have the RWBY, and then Ren is brooding outside, and it ends.
Hey! There's less than a minute! And it ends. I love how you didn't talk about the fucking crack in the ground. You're like, it ends. There's no crack in the ground.
Oh man.
I thought you were gonna get stumbled on when you went, can you call Yang? I was like, oh no, she's done
Yeah.
it. She's fucked. So when someone put, I don't know who it was before you started, they were like, Blake, Senny, I'll give you a 30-second warning if you can call Yang.
My favorite part was I went, I want to help because I'm a simp. I don't know what this was
She
for
did it,
simp.
man. All we can do is applaud that you managed that in a minute. That was impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah, and the fact that you outed per Emerald. Well done.
Simp.
Well done. I feel like it's only gonna get harder though, man. It's only gonna get harder.
Thank you, everybody.
Emerald, I know you're being a simp, but can you call Yang?
Do you know what I'm more nervous about? You asking me trivia questions because I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
fucking garbage.
Also, if you were not here last week, we now do a RWBY lightning round of trivia questions. So last week it was me on the firing, and I think I got 6 out of 10 right.
Yeah, I can't even
And
check the post-it
It was
note.
a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, for all of them.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realise this was.
Okay. Yeah, for all of them, not one at a time. So
Yeah.
the more you answer, the better, obviously, in
Yeah.
the time, but also you have to answer them right. So now it's your turn to answer, because I did it last week.
I cannot stress to everybody in here how fucking dumb I am.
So,
Like, I've been watching RWBY since, like, 2014.
yeah.
You'd think I'd know everything about it. I don't. Well, I do. I perform badly under pressure.
So, feel free to play along at home.
Yes.
I'll need this
Yes.
in the middle. But yeah, feel free to play along at home.
I have the timer set up here.
Thank you for the rules. 10 questions. Usually, if you go quicker, then I'll give you more questions.
Yeah.
Don't even know how many I have. But slam dunk that dumb sticker on your head.
Yeah. There's a reason why I chose the dumb sticker in Among Us, and it's because I am dumb.
Have you got your sound on so that the alarm goes off when the timer's done?
Yeah.
Sick.
I'll just make sure it's loud.
I don't really want to see the recap after an inevitable character death and injury. Actually, it'll be quite tragic, won't it?
Yes. It
Right.
will. Right, let me just move this over here so I can prop this up.
You ready?
No.
Okay, cool.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
What is the name of the farm where the apathy appear in Volume 6?
Brunswick Farm?
Okay. What is the name of Ren's lost village?
Fuck knows.
Yeah, that's his name. Which characters has Neo fought over the course of the series?
Oh my god. Yang, Ren, Nora, Oscar, Jean, Cinder.
You can pass if you...
Pass for now.
Cool.
RWBY. Is that all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many times have we glimpsed Glinda since Volume 3?
Once or twice on the TV.
Once or twice? Once? Okay, well, we can go with that. What is the name of Neptune's weapon?
Shit. Pass. I do know it, but I'm under pressure.
How many siblings does Blake have?
Near none.
Near none.
Near none.
Trick question. What is the first Grim we see Yang fight in the show?
The bear one. I can't remember what it's
What's
called.
it called?
Next one.
What was Crow wearing in Beacon that got him laughed at when he was in training?
Kilt, but it was a skirt.
Hey!
The name of the bear, the grim bear.
You got 7 seconds.
Oh no.
5 seconds. What's the Grim Bear called?
I actually have no idea.
It's called an Ursa.
And Ursa! Fucking hell. Right,
Everybody
we get it,
going
we get
Ursa
it.
in the chat.
Try hard, that's what it is. Fucker.
Alright. You got the apathy grim.
Yep.
You couldn't remember Ren's Village because it's not called fuck
Fuck
knows.
knows. What's it called?
Kuro Yuri.
Oh, I would never have got that.
Which characters in Neo thought? I'll give you that one because eventually you did get the potion you'd missed.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah, I don't really count Raven because she ran away.
Nah.
How many times have we glimpsed Glinda? You eventually caved to one, which is true. We only saw her once on the TV,
Nice.
which is technically a glimpse. You didn't get Neptune's weapon name.
No.
You managed to not flop completely on the trick question. I was waiting for you to go like 3. Wait, she has no siblings.
Wait, no! Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was none, it just the words failed
You
me.
went none gone.
Yeah.
What is the first Grim we see Yang fight? I'm not giving you. It took you. You didn't get it.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it. You got Crow's skirt. You got the kilt. So
Yeah.
that's it.
It's because I saw someone in Austin wearing a tartan skirt. And he was like, it's a kilt. And I was like, no!
It's a skirt.
It's a pleated tartan skirt! And I don't think he liked me very much.
He didn't.
Sorry if you're here.
He wasn't expecting a Scottish person.
He was not expecting a Scottish person aggressively going, it's a tartan skirt!
Mhm.
No, a kilt!
Okay, so you got one. No, you didn't get that one. Yeah, you got that one.
Yeah.
And my system was not great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5. So I win.
How many questions did you write down? 1, 2,
I had more in my
3,
head
4,
in
5,
case we
6,
ran,
7,
but I
8,
knew mine were
nice.
kind of long. Add us to the tally. So that's
5?
Yeah.
For some reason there's 7 here.
okay. I think
But
it
it
was.
wasn't
I'm pretty sure it
7.
was 6
Yeah,
last
I'm
week.
just gonna score that out for just now.
Nice.
Alright, I'm only 1 point behind you.
I know, but I'm gonna ahead next
Yeah,
week.
you are, because I'm dumb as shit.
You gave me
You have 1, so now you can call Yang.
Alright. 2 seconds. Oh wait, actually, Senny, phone me.
Oh, have you got your sound on?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's gonna trigger Jorah.
Phone me. Because this is definitely canon. Gotta be. Oh no, it's not doing it. Wait.
Try again.
There's nobody there, she's dead. Maybe there is a person here that's trying to kill us and I'm actually dead.
Oh. I'm not calling you though, it's just playing your ringtone.
No, it's doing it again. Here you go, fun
Yeah.
times.
Fun times.
I don't think anybody can fucking hear that. Oh man. In Soviet Russia, Yang calls you.
Wow! That's an old meme, I
That's
love
so
that.
funny.
Man.
Oh man. Oh fuck. My throat actually hurts from how many times I've said, "Can you call Yang?"
Yeah.
Actually, like, got a lot. I feel like I've been at a concert.
Oh, baby, come here. Did mommy bother you?
Hilariously, because my ringtone's been I Burn for ages, Jorah, like, gets really excited when my ringtone goes now, because he's like, oh, I'm talking to someone that, like, he might be seeing.
Yeah, because what I used to do, Kelly used to work from home, so when I was on my way home, I would phone her so that she could send Jorah down the stairs, because we stayed in a top floor flat at the time, instead of me going upstairs and then having to go back down. So Jorah came to realise that when the phone rang, it was me coming home, so he was always really excited, but now he just cried.
Yeah, now he hears it and it literally
here,
makes him
baby.
cry, because he's like, oh,
You wanna
things
jump
that I want. So yeah, somehow that's happened. Did he get the fly eventually?
I don't know.
No idea. So yeah, that was kind of the main things for our live stream, but if you guys have any questions or anything like that about the episode, or I don't know, about us,
If you want to ask us questions,
feel
go for
free.
it.
There or Jorah, I'm
Yes.
sure he's got
Yeah,
lots
if
of
you want to ask him some questions, I'm
he's
sure
gonna
he'll
have
be able
good
to
answers.
do some sniffles at the
He'll do some
microphone.
sniffles. Who's Jorah's favorite character?
Jorah, who's your favorite character? Huh?
Me. That's really like.
Here, speaking to the microphone.
He doesn't speak.
Okay.
He's a dog. He just wants
Oh,
pets.
okay. We'll give you cuddles.
Marrow, obviously.
Of course it is. It's Marrow, isn't it? Marrow's your favourite.
Wow, you're straight up have caused him to like try and claim on you.
Yeah, I think he wants to like fucking sit in my lap. We have watched The Haunting of Bly Manor, and I cried
Like
hard.
a little bitch.
So did you, Shop.
Yeah, no, I did. We've also recently rewatched the first season of Haunting because it's been a while since we watched it.
It's been since it was released that we watched it.
Yeah, so it was nice. It's nice to rewatch that too. But yeah, no, we've seen it. We cried. Big cry.
That's gross.
Do you think Ren's semblance is affecting his mental state? So his ability to like
Maybe.
sense thoughts and as a result shield thoughts from Grimm
Possibly.
and feelings.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It could have a part of
Well,
an
I think
impact.
it's a hypersensitivity. So yeah, it could be that like he feels more overwhelmed by the situation than he's letting on because of his semblance.
Yeah.
But again, he needs to talk to someone about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't just not say. Will Yang call Blake? No, 'cause she won't have signal. But will Blake try and call Yang?
I think she might.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
After she asked every other character, apparently.
Yeah. Especially dead ones.
Yeah.
Stop trying to lick me.
What would you describe as the main theme of this volume? I think divide and isolation, as you said, is probably quite accurate. Divide, I think, more so than anything else.
Yeah.
Because there is obviously very strong divisions going on now, and I feel like just by the opening, there's not going to be much hope by the time the volume's done.
Mm-mm.
I think what I'm getting from RWBY right now is like they've kind of realised that every season it gets bigger, and every season it improves in animation quality, and they don't. I think what people forget, obviously we're on volume 8, and if any other show you were like, oh, it's on 8 seasons, but you have to remember, like the first couple of seasons are so short, and even now the episodes are not more than 20 minutes for the most part.
Yeah.
So as much as we were on the 8th volume, actually there's not been a huge length of episodes and content. So they've kind of realised, like, hey, we don't need to be like, oh, this is going to take 10 volumes. It's going to take as many volumes as it takes to tell this story.
Yeah.
And because most people that are in it are on board. Like, all the voice actors and stuff seem very, like, on board for the long haul.
Well, I assumed that it actually makes them quite a lot of money as well. Like, consistent money every year.
Well,
so,
oh, yeah. Yeah, it's their most popular product.
Yeah, and they'll still get royalties from it every time it's replayed. He just tried to get the fly again, but it was too slow.
Nice. Yeah, so I think that they're just gonna like take the story where they need to. So I know that obviously people were like, oh, I guess we're only gonna be in Atlas for maybe 2 volumes. I think we're gonna be there for longer actually. But just in a way that like works for the story rather than it's like, oh, we need to spend 2 volumes here and 2 volumes here. Like there's a lot in Atlas. There's so much going on, so it makes sense if they take a bit longer here.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there'll be a scene of Blake losing her shit over seeing Yang's low aura because, as we've established, there's not reception.
It's so baggy. You turned around and it was just like, look at that. Yeah. It's so unnecessary.
This is the excess material. Yeah, I feel like Blake won't look at the scroll and be like, oh my god, Yang's aura is so low. What might happen is she looks at it and goes, why can't I see Yang's aura? And then try and call her. And then there's no reception. She can't get through to her and no one can get through to her. And it's like just a really stressful situation for everyone to be in because no one can get a hold of any of them. And, you know, they didn't tell Fiona what happened. They just said that there was an emergency and that she that she wouldn't believe them if they told her what was happening. Yeah. So even Fiona doesn't know where they are or what's happening. So
yeah, and until they know, I mean, they know something bad probably is happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's no need for them to have gone out of range like that.
No.
Like they were in Mistral, as far as they were aware, they could speak to each other in Mistral. So the fact that they're now out of range, yeah.
This annoys me as well too, Cammy. Like, people saying that Yang doesn't care about RWBY because she was thinking of Blake instead. Like, I'm sure that Yang is thinking about RWBY. However, I think actually Cal spoke about this a little bit on Twitter, where, like, your family will just love you unconditionally and, like, they'll understand why you make some choices so long as they're not really bad choices,
Yeah.
but just differ from yours. So she doesn't need to worry about Ruby perhaps not loving her in the same way, because she will. She's her sister. Whereas Blake and Yang are on this kind of are they, aren't they with a relationship. And little things like this at the start of a relationship could really kind of make or break it, where your opinions are in very different places, and what you value above everything else could make it a bad situation. So I think Yang still absolutely adores her sister. I think that's never in question. Anyway.
Yeah, Mango, that is very cute of you to say, and I'm glad that we're giving you some company in a crazy kind of situation in the world right now. We're in a sort of semi-lockdown here too, and we haven't seen our friend in person for a while, so it sucks.
Literally since August?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Early August at the very least.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I literally just have to block off the Yang sister Blake dynamic thing, because it just annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
The standards that people apply, like, that they don't apply to other relationships is ridiculous.
Well, the fact that they're always like, oh, Yang's doing this with Ruby, but not blah blah blah. Like, how many times has Weiss brought up Winter when she knows what a bad situation Winter was in when they left?
Yeah, like, but you don't see it.
But you don't talk about that, because Weiss isn't showing any romantic feelings towards anybody, so...
Yeah, no, it's double standards, and that's why I just can't even be bothered with the Discord anymore, because it's like talking to a brick wall.
It is like,
and I've kind of said everything
wall.
that I'm ever going to really say on it.
I'm still open to having civil, and I'm gonna really emphasize I'm open for civil conversations. However, if you're not open to the possibility to change your mind or look at it a different way, we can't have a civil conversation about it.
No.
And that's the end of it. I'm not going to actively seek out any, argument about it. So
the other thing is, like, with Yang and Blake and RWBY, like, yeah, what you said about what Cal said is quite true, that there is a sort of just assumption with family in a little bit of a way, like, you, especially siblings, like, you're not always on the best of terms with each other, but that doesn't mean to say you don't care about each other. Whereas if you're, like, at the start of, like, a potential romantic relationship with someone, like, you really don't want to take wrong steps, and you kind of question everything you do.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh god, what if I've done something to upset them? Like, what if they hate me now? Like, what if we can't repair this? Whereas, like, you can, obviously, unless you, like, straight up murder someone or do something really awful, your family are kind of always going to stand by you if they're good family.
Okay, so, you have a younger sister, the way that Yang has a younger sister. How many times have you and your younger sister disagreed about something?
All the time.
Does it make you love her any less?
No.
No.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, there's plenty of things that I've done that she's done that, like, we definitely disagree with and whatnot, but it's not the same. Obviously, with you now, I don't feel that way, but at the start, like...
Yeah, at the start, it was like, oh my god, I feel like I can't tell them this, like, thing that I think I did badly, like, at work, because what if they look at it and go, oh...
Yeah, it's like walking on eggshells a little bit more, because you don't want to ruin the relationship before it's really started. But a family relationship is completely different from that, because a lot of things can go wrong and you still stand by the person, because, that's just what happens. Mm-hmm. That's just reality. I feel like they're handling it fine, and the double standards is just ridiculous.
People will literally grab anything just to put distance between an actual well-developed LGBT couple. And I'm pretty sick of it, if I'm completely honest, but...
You're also not obligated
You're not obligated to like family. That's not what we're saying at all.
Yeah.
We're not projecting, but okay.
Well, it's fine to relate to things.
Yeah, it is absolutely fine to relate to things.
There's projecting and then there's just relating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you see, like, parts of their dynamic that are similar to things that you know, like, that's not projecting, that's just seeing part of your life reflected. Like, that's just it.
I mean, I will call Yang, but like I said, it won't be for Blake, it'll be for me. Been over this, guys.
Yeah, but, if anybody ever, like, actually, I mean, I'm pretty sure the bulk of people here will have literally seen the video essay. If you ever want my in-depth, actually, like, organised opinions on it up to, you know, Volume 6, I think, then go watch that and not listen to me just ramble here on a live stream that's been 2 hours long. There's just no point.
Yeah, if you haven't watched the Bumblebee essay, I would recommend it.
I mean, but that's just like...
But that's your choice if you want to watch it or not, but... Yeah. I think it's great. I mean, obviously, I already agreed with it, but there were people that watched it and they were like, hey, actually, like, you make some good points. Like, I still don't ship it, but, like, you make some good points, so...
Yeah. But like I said, I'm pretty sure the bulk of people here have probably seen it at this stage.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like been up for nearly 2 years now. 2 years? 3 years? Maybe? I don't know. 2 years.
You know, if Yang was on TikTok, she would have so many people simping over her.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
so many.
if you've ever seen any video on gay TikTok, like, everyone's always like, oh my god, be my wife. Like, that's exactly what would happen with Yang on TikTok.
Yeah. God, I wish I had more time for projects like that, but, like, it's so time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, it's draining.
Yeah.
It's so draining, because that is still the only, like, video of its kind that really exists on that topic. Everything else is the opposite end, so, like, it's just draining.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
But also, like, I feel like there might not also be, like, as many other videos along the same tangent as you making the video essay, because you made so many good points that people don't feel the need to make another one because you've made one.
I guess. I don't know, man.
You gathered a lot of evidence and put it all together, so...
Can you call Yang compilation? I don't know how I would do that. I think I'm gonna just spam it on Twitter and see what happens.
Yeah, basically. I'm sorry, Toki. We've been at it for like 2 hours. We're probably gonna like wrap it
I'm
up
dying.
sometime
My
soon.
throat is so sore from saying, "Can you call Yang?"
Can you call Yang?
It's like actually painful to say at this point. I can feel my throat like cutting up in places.
Yeah.
Whew.
I really do feel a potential B-kiss this volume, but
listen,
I'm just biding my time because
just bite it.
I can wait.
We've waited long enough.
We have waited long enough, but I am also willing to wait just to prove some people wrong.
Well, what? You just need to what? You don't need to prove anybody wrong.
No, but I will relish in it.
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's fair considering some of the years of shit that we've had to hear from other people. It's fine.
This volume is doing a really good job of building up their relationship now that they're apart from each other, which I think is brilliant.
I think the reunion's gonna actually, instead of like the fact that they've been split up, will actually accelerate it rather than slow it down, to be honest. So yeah. Big hype for the next couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, middle of the apocalypse, you gotta remember that desperation also can happen.
Yeah, y'all are saying like the middle of the end of the world is the wrong time to have a kiss, but please don't forget that
what the fuck did Pyrrha do, boys?
Pyrrha did it, and also I can't even remember the characters' names, but in Pirates of the Caribbean, like Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom like literally got married in the middle of a pirate. Will Turner and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Swan?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got married like in the middle of a total sword fight in a ship, so like
yeah, like it's just high drama, high stakes.
If it's a life or death situation,
if you think you're gonna die, you're gonna take that opportunity.
Yeah, you'll take that opportunity.
Man, I think we're good for this stream though, because I am tired and I need to go and call Yang. So
yeah, we need to try and get a hold of Yang. So
all y'all guys need to go and try and call Yang because yeah, someone needs to call her.
Someone needs to call her.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah. Bell,
call Yang.
No, he can't be trusted. He 100% will put in the wrong phone number.
He would call Yang, get through to her, and fumble it, and that's the only person that gets through.
Yeah, it's like when you do sending in D&D and you don't actually say the message. That's what it would be like. It'd be like the signal's really jittery.
Yeah, when Jester gets through and she's just like, "Hey, hope you're doing well." Anyway, we're over here, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then it's like, you didn't tell them where we are or why do we need them. And
yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll try again.
That's the exact vibe when Bell tries to call Yang, is the signal's really jittery, so he only gets a few words in, but it doesn't, it's not anything about the actual situation.
It's like,
yeah.
Blake, anyway, bye.
spills coffee on a scroll.
Anyway.
Hey, Yang, are you pooping?
No. Who said that?
KOC.
KOC. Mwah, I love you.
Oh, that was a good one.
It was a really good one.
Yeah, who would be
Anyway.
that out of the whole group? Who would be the one that would phone Yang and ask that? If whoever got through to Yang, who'd be
RWBY.
RWBY. Hey Yang, are you pooping?
Hey Yang, before I get into it, are you pooping? No. Well, maybe you should sit in the toilet because you're gonna shit yourself when I tell you this.
And on that very, very high note,
We're gonna go.
we should probably end this stream.
Yeah. But it was really nice talking to you guys, and
There's already art. What? Okay.
no way. Okay, I'm gonna have to go and search that, but I might not find it. So someone please send me at least one of them into my DMs because
Yes.
I will miss it.
But
But
thank you for hanging with us. As always, this has been a pleasure.
yes,
I hope that you all enjoyed it.
thank you, May.
And the chaos that it usually is, and will
Yeah.
probably continue to be. Sweet dreams.
Enjoy.
Make sure you call Yang. Yeah.
Also, please make sure that you comment on our videos. Some nice things just to
comment on our reactions.
drown out all of the bad shit that we've had to deal with for the last week. So
It's not that much. You make it sound
Yes.
dramatic.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. But yes, it would be nice.
yes,
All right.
it was nice to hang with you guys. Have a great rest of the
Bye.
week, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, and like.
Oh, and like.
Bye.